Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MacArthur Field. I'm Matt Palumbo on behalf of Ken Louis-Tag, director at KWVT Channel 17. It is great to be back here at MacArthur Field. It's West Texas and Western Oregon. We're going to take a break here in just a moment to take care of the national anthem, but all the action coming up next on KWVT Channel 17.
Test.
Well, if you know who this voice is, remind me, it's Matthew Palumbo. I'm joined alongside my cohort, Michael Brown. We are at MacArthur Field. And yes, Michael, it's a Chamber of Commerce day. The toss has been already occurred. West Texas and the Buffalo have agreed to defer and take it in the second half. Western Oregon will have Marquise Sampson and Curtis Anderson back. It is good to be back, Ken Louis-Tag. Everybody here at KWVT, Michael. 2 years. It's been too long.
It's been a long time. Ready to get back into some action here at MacArthur Field. A lot of fans out here. Everybody's stoked to get some live football back in Monmouth.
So I'll just coach Arn Ferguson. I'll quote him right now. how important it is for this community to see football back once again as the Buffalo kickoff to get this season underway at MacArthur Field. Kick will go short to Curtis Anderson. He'll get it around the 10-yard line, fumbles it, picks it back up, got a little bit of momentum, ran smack dab into one of his own players, and I think we'll have to give the tackle to the Wolves and not to West Texas.
It's one of those things when the ball drops on a kick return, sometimes you can get a big play out of it. This time, he gets held down at the 20-yard line. Western Oregon ready to start a drive, see if they can go 80 yards and start this home season on a good note.
Curtis Anderson, without a doubt, in my opinion, heart and soul of this particular team. Part of that great run a year ago, actually 2 years ago, that saw them share their first conference championship. Ryan Worley will go to action. He'll have Amori land in the backfield. You'll understand 2 years ago just how important number 23 is to the tempo of this offense as we get underway from the 20-yard line. Land will get the pick, or get the handoff on the right-hand side. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but again, Michael, always the offense's job is to establish time of possession and the attitude of this game.
Trying to get the offensive lineman to get control of the field. And we do have some replay here as you go with the option. Quarterback hands off up the middle. Nothing gained just yet. On to second down and about 7 yards.
Of the games I traveled to this year, Mike, there's not as much run-pass option, but I look to see Ryan Worley maybe go to the air immediately. But as I say that, it's run-pass option and maybe a first down for the quarterback.
It looks like he's close to the first down. A quarterback keeper up the middle. And the chains move. A nice first down for Western Oregon. As you were saying, you've seen a couple of games. You've traveled, seen the team play at Portland State, and went all the way to Colorado to see a game against a very high-ranked Colorado Mines.
So far, the only common opponent for Western Oregon and the Buffalo is Colorado the Mines. West Texas only losing by 8 points to a top-ranked team in Division II. Worthley out to Marquis Sampson, and in Sampson I always trust he'll pick up 3, maybe 4 yards.
Giving the ball out to Sampson quick to see if he can shuffle around and make a move, get down the field. He looks like he came up a little bit holding his leg to see hopefully he's okay as the game goes along. But they have a quick pace offense already set up, no huddle. On to second down, about 8 yards.
Nice start for this offense a week ago, getting their first W. It's amazing, Michael, to have to go on the road. Division II football on the West Coast, not so easy. 4 consecutive weeks, and the first time in 2 years to be in front of their alumni and home crowd. Worley gets it, he'll fake it, and now looks to the air out to the left side. And he had right open, but just outside of his reach and through the wickets. Would have been a big gain, Mike.
A great play set up as you see the play action as he rolls out, has his man open. Unfortunately, just a drop right now. He saw a man coming. A little bit quick with the hands to make sure he's not going to get hit too hard. But we're looking for a big game from him today.
Yeah, pretty amazing on the season. I mean, when you look at him, he's a mismatch nightmare. Thomas Wright stands out there as a very big target. Been working on those plays early on in the season, and that might come back to fruition where they'll get a big gainer later in the game. 3rd and 8 now on the 32. Pass and open man. They go right back to Thomas Wright, but a nice open field tackle by the Buffalo defense. And it looks like we might see Aaron Gross. Aaron Gross already a GNAC Special Teams Player of the Week for Western Oregon. When I was down in Colorado, nothing like the rare thin air up there. I saw him bomb 165 yards, but Gross averaging 40 yards per punt on the season.
Yeah, it looked like a great play from the West Texas defense setting up a punt right here from Gross.
Gross, a left footer, gets off a decent kick, driving it, a fair catch called for by the Buffaloes. They'll get the ball around the 23-yard line, and they will march out a very competent quarterback in Nick Gerber. According to anybody that I talked to today on the sidelines before the game, Michael, this junior is the most polished and accomplished passer that they've seen throughout the season, and directly, they said, from the pocket. He's got a lot of targets and gets rid of the ball cleanly.
Very efficient, averaging just about 250 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions, working their way down the field as the season's gone along. See what Western Oregon's defense can do against this powerful offense.
Buffalo will start. The Buffaloes will start in the shotgun. They'll hand it off on first down. And this is going to get right to the point. Great push from the offensive line of West Texas, and it might take it all the way out to a first down because the officials would not blow the whistle. But I'll tell you something right now. The linebacking core of Western Oregon right now only has one starter in there, in Jalen Parnell, coming off a GNAC Conference Player of the Week on that side of the ball. And then also they're going to bring in Mac Jr. and Isaiah Abraham are in there right now. But it was a nice pickup, and they did give him first down yardage on that
you see
play.
the left-hand side of that line with Adam Lacorda and Jacoby Lott pushing down the field, setting up a first down here for West Texas.
Khalil Harris kept those legs moving in a first down on the first play of the game. Gerber, number 15, flushed out of the pocket. He's looking for big yardage. He cuts it up to the 50, 40, 30. He'll go inside the 30. That ball started on the 35, Mike. Looks like they're going to mark it around the 30. It's going to look like about a 35-yard pickup. But a problem all season with this defensive line right here.
Yeah, with the man-to-man, as he sees the opening down the field, he knows all the receivers are covered by the DBs, runs right up the middle for a very big gain, probably his biggest gain of the year. He's not much of a runner, stays in the pocket. That time he took it. First down, West Texas A&M.
Buffalo are definitely used to playing out front, outscoring their opponents 159-77. Harris gets the ball off the right side. He'll spin back, and again, looking for a tackle, and the gray shirts can't seem to do it. He's got a platoon of blockers, and Harris cuts it up and finally driven out of bounds, but not before another first down. And that play was made on the defensive side. Michael, quick eye can tell we don't have anybody spotting, but it was Billy Nelson.
Yeah, as he goes to the right side, it looks like he's held up. As you see, spins out. There's no backside contain. He's able to get to the outside, work down the field. Quick offense for West Texas. They're back on the ball, first down, and goal.
Yeah, goal to goal from the 8-yard line. Gerber calls for it, looking out to his right. A little pick play underneath, and they've got it. And now better tackling coming from Western Oregon. But they'll pick up 4 or 5 yards and keep this drive moving.
Quick screen outside, working his way to the middle of the field. Western Oregon's defense able to tackle, gang tackle there in the middle of the field, setting up a second down and goal from about the 5-yard line.
Clock now under 10.5 minutes in a very quick-moving first quarter. 2nd and 5. And the play is going to be called dead. Don't know. I'll tell you, some of these penalties throughout the first 4 games have really come back to haunt Western Oregon, but maybe this time it'll go against West Texas.
Offside, number 47 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Anthony Mack Jr., we said he was going to get playing time today, and you know that engine's revved up, ready to go, ready to go. See if they can make a play in the backfield.
Hoping to get an advantage down here close to the goal line. Fortunately, he jumped a little too early. Half the distance to the goal. It's about 3 yards now for West Texas.
This is a big unit back there. I see Gerber, I see Harris, and then I see a fullback in that backfield as well. And they'll kick it out to Harris. Harris drops it, and Harris actually might have got really lucky on that play by kicking it and almost injured himself on the play, but it'll be a loss of about 2.5, 3 yards.
See the fake to JT Cavender as he pitches it out. He doesn't quite get control of it, kicks it out of bounds, setting up a 3rd and goal from about the 6-yard line for West Texas A&M.
What you can best hope for here, Mike, is a moral victory. Get a hold here and see if you can keep only 3 points on the board, and who knows, maybe even get out of here with a stop.
As you see players trying to get off the field, there's a timeout for Western Oregon to not have too many men on the field.
Western Oregon. That'll be our time out of the half.
That'll be our first stop in action with a 0-0 score here live on KWVT Channel 17. To sunny Monmouth, Oregon, and MacArthur Field as the West Texas Buffaloes, now threatening 3rd and 6, have made quick work on their first offensive possession, looking to take an early lead over Western Oregon. Gerber calling out the play. He'll put a man in motion. Khalil Harris in the backfield with 3 wide receivers spread to his right. And he's looking that direction. Underneath, he finds it. Play not broken up, Michael, but it's going to be stopped short of the goal line. And West Texas and their coaching staff right off the bat are going to have a decision.
You see them go 4 wide from the 6-yard line. They have a player open over the middle in that zone, but the defenders decide to collapse, tag him right at the 1-yard line, and now it's going to be interesting 4th down here for West Texas A&M. See if they can use those big offensive linemen to get a score. We'll see what happens with the West Oregon defense.
Harris averages about 6 yards a carry, only needs 1. They go with Gerber on the fake. And I think the initial sign will be touchdown. That comes from players on the field, and it is acknowledged that Gerber does put West Texas on the board, leading 6-0, awaiting an extra point.
Yeah, just a simple run up the middle there. Again, getting behind their big offensive line, able to push the defensive line and get a touchdown to start the game for West Texas A&M on their first drive.
Not the start Western Oregon was looking for, but they'll have a chance to get back on it right now. Looks like Urias will have the opportunity to put the Buffaloes up 7-0. Kick is up, and it is good. West Texas on the board, 7-0. We'll be back for more first quarter action. We're calling them the Buffs. Well, it didn't take the Buffs very long. 3 minutes and 34 seconds, 8 plays and 78 yards. It was Nick Gerber on the 1-yard touchdown sneak that puts up West Texas now 7-0. Big response going to be needed by the Wolves this afternoon. Michael Brown.
Gerber did most of the work on that drive with that long run that he had, and he got the score at the end to finish out the drive. Now we'll see if Western Oregon, the Wolves, can get their offense going right now.
Kick is off, and again short, and they're going to bad communication between Marquise Sampson and Anderson. Anderson gets to the 20, looking for a blocker, cuts it up, hits the 30, gets to the 35, out of bounds, untouched. And a little bit of nerves maybe playing in front of the home crowd for the first time in 2 years for Curtis Anderson. 2 missed kicks here.
And with that short kick, they have to decide who's going to get it. Curtis Anderson gets a hold of it and then works with his blockers up the field and is able to make a good return to set up the Wolves.
On a return, blocking it back, number 36 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the flag. First down.
That good blocking was illegal, so unfortunately Western is going to go back and start the drive from the 12-yard line, and there they'll see if their offense can get going today.
Again, having Cougar Smith also playing on that linebacking core, getting his first action in a while as well. That block in the back nullifies good field position for the Wolves. Their second of the first quarter, 8:49 on the clock, and they'll start deep in their own territory on the 12-yard line. Very deliberate play calling so far from Wyatt Worthley. He'll get the ball. Land comes out of the backfield. Worthley can run, won't run, sees a man underneath. And he's going to get a short completion. Best I could tell, Mike, I was blocked out by the post. Was it Marquise Sampson?
I believe, I apologize, I did not see it myself.
All I could see was somebody wearing pink gloves, and he's the only one out there.
I believe I thought it was Thomas Wright for a second. I'd see a couple of pink gloves out there, but he's able to get in the middle, get a touch, first down, Western Oregon.
11-yard pickup for the Wolves. Again, Trey Shima-Bakuro on the sideline, looking out to his quarterback and making the call. Wright and Sampson now on the right side of the field. Play clock now down to 6. Going to be a pass. Sampson open to the flat, but Worthley going over the top, looking for something big. Had one-on-one coverage, Michael, but just not quite there on the connection.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did have some good time in the backfield to get the ball down the field and just overthrew the ball, going for the big play, the chunk play right there, and just overthrown. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Western Oregon as they're back at the line.
Looked like it was Jaron Ford was the intended target on that play. 2nd and 10 on the 23, trailing 7-0.
As this is our first game, we're getting warmed up ourselves, getting it going, as Western Oregon's trying to do right now.
Neither one of us forgot how to talk. Worthley with the play call. He'll hand it off to Amari Land. Land straight up the middle, and a great run. And I'll tell you, that's the first time I've seen this offensive line open up something that was that easy in all of the games I've watched.
Option look just right up the middle. Great blocking by the offensive line. And it's up to Amari to see if he can make some guys miss. Makes a couple miss. And then gang tackling from West Texas. But a great play down the field. First down for the Wolves.
Eric Collins will be credited with the Buffs tackle. Worthley back to business. Now getting some breathing room after starting this drive on the 12-yard line. Sampson in the slot, out wide, Thomas Wright. the dynamic duo, but they go right back to land. No, underneath. And Thomas Wright is there again, and what a nice play is going to be ruled dead here, I believe. Wright does give up the ball at the end.
As they do a little RPO look, and it looks like he's going to run outside and do some option, but there's a receiver over the middle able to catch it, and it does look like he was down, ball down after the play. It'll be second down and about 2 for the Wolves.
Substitution now in the backfield, number 4, Andrew Valadares. A little bit more of a bruising style runner. Omari can make you miss, but Andrew Valadares makes you feel it. Worthley goes back underneath. Marquise Sampson with the diving catch. That's going to be a first down, and now into Buffs territory.
And you see the excitement from the Western offense right now as he's able to get the complete pass over the middle. Another play action look. It looks like they're going play action every time. Get some opening over the middle, and you see Western very excited right now trying to get the ball rolling.
I'm excited. On the far side of the field, number 1 has entered the game, and Justice Wright said, "Are you ready for a show today?" And now seeing his first action as the Wolves are in Buffs territory on the 42-yard line halfway through this first quarter for the first time in MacArthur Field in 2 years. Valadares, this offensive line ripping holes. Valadares won't go down. Marquise Sampson there with them. Huge chunk gain for the Wolves.
You like the work of Valadares here as he's working through the offensive line. Just a giant opening up the middle, and he's not being taken down. As you said, he's a power back, and he's not letting them take him down with just one arm. You need to wrap him up in order to take him down. Is a great gain for Western Oregon.
It's going to be fun right now for Ryan Worthley, Michael. This receiving core in this part of the field can wreak havoc, too, with all of the options. They can run Justin Hickok, number 2 in the game, and look for him. He's a kind of guy that can just get behind him just enough, could settle down and maybe pick up big yardage here as they're knocking on the door on the 19-yard line. Great drive and a Wolves response. Worthley's going right back to the air, right back outside, and as I say that on cue, Justin Hickok with the reception.
As you know what's happening, you've seen him play a few times this year. Great job by the offensive line. Again, very quick pass. Just an out to get about 8 yards and set up a short second down. A lot of options to do on second down when you just have 2 yards to get a first down.
I recall a play a couple of years ago right about at this spot. The ball went to Amari Land. He planted his foot right. It was all gone, and he went to the far left side. But I can tell you right now, Western Oregon communicating very well to the sideline right now, and all the play calling going all their way right now on this second drive of the first quarter. Land gets it. He's going to the right side. He's got room. He's trying to go up, trying to get to the goal line. He's down to the 1. That's an 11-yard pickup. And this running game hasn't seen this kind of continuity yet this season.
As you see, a high handoff, but he's able to get control of it. Jacob Pruitt, the right tackle, able to get a good job of blocking out the outside. Some good blocking by the receivers. Down to the 2-yard line, setting up a first and goal for Western Oregon. Great run by Amari Land there.
Typical play calling here in our history, Michael, is if you see Omari or Andrew get a run like that, they will hand the ball right back to him. But they've seen the play action and the RPO be effective here. Don't be surprised if Worthley calls his own number and harkens back to number 14, Ty Curry.
Correct. They keep doing it with these running quarterbacks. We'll see what they do here.
Worthley gets it, and he's got it off the land. Land cuts it up, drives with his feet. Touchdown! Wolves! They're back on the board. It feels so good to see.
Fantastic job again by the offensive line. Run option there, and Amari Land just putting his head down, running over the defender and able to get a touchdown for Western Oregon.
I think that was an appropriate response. I think that was proportional. Now get an extra point and tie this game up. What a great, great second drive, Michael.
Especially after the time off. Everybody's been waiting to see a touchdown here. It's fantastic to see a touchdown at MacArthur Field by the Western Oregon Wolves again.
Result of the play is a touchdown. At the end of the play, unsportsmanlike, number 91 on the defense. That's his first UNS foul of the game. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, 15 yards.
Jalen Hill assessed with an unsportsmanlike. He can only get 2 of those. He's got his first infraction. Daniel Cosette in now to attempt the extra point. Good clean snap. Kick is up. And the kick is good. And this game is tied at 7. Wolves and Buffs in a great first quarter. We'll be back for more action here on KWVT Channel 17. A punctuated second drive for the Wolves. After trailing 7-0, getting poor field position starting on their 12-yard line. They march 88 yards behind Omari Land, a 2-yard touchdown, and this game is tied at 7. Beautiful day to play football here on October 2nd. And it's almost been 2 years, Michael, but wow, what a return. It's a good crowd. I think they're still a little muted. I don't know, but maybe they'll get into it. I know how excited you and I are to be here. And there's a penalty assessed there on the unsportsmanlike conduct. The Wolves will kick off from their 50.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be back here. A little nervous myself. It's been a while, but it's pretty exciting. Happy for all the Western Oregon players and the fans and the coaches.
Even the mascot down there, he's got a beautiful Western Oregon mask on. I can't get over it. Kickoff goes into the end zone, and it was likely to be the touchback that it is. The Buffs will go back to work. Their first drive was pretty striking, at least from Gerber. Gerber picked up that 35-yard gain, actually 39-yard total yards on the ground on that first drive, and they were able to punch it in pretty darn quickly in just under 4 minutes, 8 plays, and 78 yards on that first drive.
Yeah, and that first drive, the Buffs' offensive line had decent control, and we're going to see if Western Oregon's defensive line can start to match up with them a little bit better.
According to coaching staff last week that watched the film on this Buffs team, they really believe that West Texas could have easily beat Colorado School of the Mines. Obviously, Western Oregon going down there losing 42-3 in the opener. The coaching staff, they said if they were playing Colorado this week, much different story. But Harris gets the ball off the left side, really stutter steps, takes his time. Really not much there, Michael. He does end up picking up about 3.5 yards.
Yeah, it's that the NFL way of running the ball, of just waiting, see where the hole opens up, and able to find a hole and getting some positive yards there, about 5 yards, setting up a 2nd and 5.
I don't know if it's the pads, but when I see Harris run the ball, does not look like 185 pounds at 6'2". He looks a little bigger than that. They're going to go out and roll him out. Gerber sees somebody down, over the top, man open, and he's got a lot of room. 50, turning it up, turns to Micaiah Lee, and he can't do anything about it. That ball's going to go out of bounds, and they're immediately back in Wolves territory on a big play over the top.
Yeah, you see him reaching out, rolling out, trying to see an open man, and as time goes along, the Western defender tries to knock the ball away. Receiver catches the ball and works his way down the field for a big gain.
Freshman Tyree Tipton on the big reception. West Texas right back where they started on that first drive, now under 4 minutes in the first quarter. Little bit of play action there as well underneath. Better tackling there from Western Oregon. Very nice to see that. Best I could tell, that might be Mack Jr. because he was confronted immediately after catching that ball.
Little play action there with a backside screen, but Western played it very well, was able to contain, hold him to just a 5-yard gain when it looked like there could be a bigger play there.
Gerber in the shotgun with Harris to his right side now. We're going to see, I'll tell you, I've been to the 2 games on the road, Michael. It's kind of been the story. They'll go through these sequences where you can't tell if it's offsides or it's a false start.
Offside, number 19 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Lovelace going to get assessed with the offsides, and I get how excited they are to put pressure on Gerber. And we haven't even really seen what Gerber can do throwing the ball yet. He's been so effective running it.
Yeah, they get across the line. It sets up a 2nd and about 1 for the Buffs.
Marking that ball on the 22. They'll hand it off to Harris. Harris will go up. He'll move the chains in a little bit more. But again, better form tackling coming from Western Oregon. My assessment, Michael, there's been glimpses of really nice things with this defensive line. They're quick off the ball, and they do get a decent push, but it's that improvement that's needed on those extended plays to finish them.
Yeah, just putting it together just to be able to get a stop here. But great job by the Buffs offensive line to just set up a hole there and let the running back get through to get a first down. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Buffs.
Now back into the red zone. Gerber will operate. Fresh set of downs on the 17-yard lines as we approach 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Gerber looking to his right, throws out, and going to be interesting if they're going to call anything here, Michael. I thought for a while there, that so long for it to get there. Wondered, but a nice breakup.
Yeah, it was a great job in the end zone there, but just playing football there. They both kind of doing that basketball screening type thing, trying to play in the post and pushing off each other, but good play. No hold in the back, no flag.
Micaiah Lee, it looked a little handsy, but, let him play, which is nice. Now bringing up 2nd down and 10. Anderson was looking to rush there. The first time we're seeing somebody else in the backfield other than Harris.
And as Anderson rushed, he was pushed to the outside, setting up the hole for the Buffs, and Harris is able to get up there and again set up a very short 2nd down again for the Buffs, as they've been doing for these first couple of drives. Got a 2nd and about 2.
Actually, going to bring up third. Yeah, no problem. Jared Compton coming into the game wearing the number 1. They've brought up Anderson several times like that. He got a little bit out of position. They're going to do 5-man fronts maybe throughout the day. Compton gets it. Tripped up. And here comes more Western Oregon plays. It could end up being a loss of yardage.
As it should be. He's still trying to work his way up the field and working back and forth. We'll see where the forward progress is and see if they get a first down here. But great job by Western's defense to keep coming up and pushing the offensive line.
Heston Marshall, I believe, is the place kicker.
And it does look like it's setting up a 4th down, 4th and short for the Buffs as they're going to go for it. Or is it, you see the kicker?
No, I think they sent out a kicker, and I don't think it's I think it's another person. They have an injury out there that I'm not aware of.
They want the points right now, so they send out the special teams.
Gage Urias out there seeing if they can put 3 more points on the board. Goes down to 4th, and it's not 4th and 1.
Timeout. West Texas A&M. First charge timeout of the half.
They're deciding as we were up here to see what they want to do right now.
Let's keep it here for a second. I think right now it's interesting. I can't really blame the coaching staff over there with Hunter Hughes saying how easily we've moved the ball, that why wouldn't we take a look this early in the game just to put 3 points on it. But maybe it already feels like early on that you're looking at some sort of shootout, and they got to be thinking maybe touchdowns are the only way to win this game because we might just go up and down. I thought the adjustments offensively for Western Oregon that second drive were good, but it looks like the Buffs picked up right where they started off drive 1.
Yeah, both teams playing well since Western's first drive where they didn't score. And we're going to see if the special teams are coming out again. We'll see shortly.
Both teams now exercising one of their 3 timeouts. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. But early on, the Buffs have established that they can move the ball in bigger chunk plays so far. And what we see here is there's been a decision, and they're going to go ahead, and they are going to go. They gave one heck of a spot to Compton, Michael. So it is a 4th and 1 on the 8-yard line. Gerber's already snuck one in for a touchdown on the first drive. Harris now spotting him on the right side on the backfield. And there's movement, and this might make it an easy choice for the coaching staff.
They're saying false start from the other sideline, so we'll see what's happening here, and then you see the special teams come out.
And I tell you,
snap, false start on the offense, number 17, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Got to drive Coach Hughes absolutely berserk. You go into that timeout, you know what the count is, and to jump like that has got to be a tough pill to swallow.
And you see Western's special teams out there, and we know how they are on blocking kicks. They can do it.
Gage Urias now, roughly a 23-yarder. Good snap, kick up. And the kick is good, and the Buffs now lead by 3, 10-7. We'll step away from the action. Rest of the first quarter coming up on KWVT Channel 17. Well, it's about as closely contested a first quarter as you could imagine. West Texas has had 2 possessions, 2 scores. They end an 8-play, 62-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 20 seconds behind A. Urias. What they're now calling a 31-yard field goal was a little bit bad on that. I said 23 yards, as they will kick the ball away here. Back to Western Oregon. Sampson and another short kick. Very interesting idea from where there. And they get it away, but Sampson gets it. Going to come here to the far right side, looking to pick up blockers. Curtis Anderson gets a good block, but great open field tackle. Wow.
Yeah, great open field tackle by Gage Smith, because it looked like Curtis Anderson had a lot of options to get down the field.
Sampson actually has the ball, Michael. It was Anderson that was going to give him the block. No, it's great. And I mean, gosh, if he just turns it up a second sooner, don't know where Sampson can go. He does. He's one of those really, really kind of just in-between player sizes, but I'll tell you, Sampson has a heart of gold. Marquise is one of my favorite players to watch on the offensive side of the ball, and not afraid to throw his body around, whether it be blocking, and there is a penalty flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask. On a receiving team, 15-yard foul. First down.
Well, there's no assessment to who it is. It would have to have thrown it right around the area that you would assume that it would have been Curtis Anderson.
Yeah, just one of the blockers probably got their hands up and unfortunately got a face mask, pushing Western back. They're starting with inside the 20-yard line again, but after the last drive, they found some momentum. You'll see if they'll be able to keep it up, working the ball down the field with Worthley and Amari Land.
Very, very even game statistically. Don't even need to say it, but field position now on the 14-yard line. They come out of the backfield, and this is a wrinkle I have not seen. Very, very nice play call to see Amari Land flash out on the right side and pick up this ball.
Just a quick play to the flat. Amari Land catches it. Again, just let him get out there and do what he does. And he's able to pick up a few yards here, setting up a second and about 5 yards.
Out at Hillsborough a few weeks ago, I saw him on the sideline. You could tell his best football was in front of him. He felt frustrated, and that's an assessment just as a person watching it. But Amari Land early on in this game, very focused. Ball moves out to the 19-yard line, heading towards 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Land up the middle where they've had so much success. Land spins out of a tackle, and he doesn't go down. He'll push it past the 30. First down, Western Oregon.
A great job again by the offensive line. You have to keep giving them credit because they're opening these holes for Amari Land. It looked like there was a little bit of a mishandle on the handoff, but he's able to hold it. Nobody wraps up, and Amari Land spins his way down for a big gain and a first down for the Wolves.
Now around 10 seconds. Don't know if we'll see another play here in this first quarter. Ball spotted on the 31, but Ryan Worthley, with plenty of time left on the play clock, I think will walk to the sideline. And our first quarter score, an exciting first quarter here. 10-7, Buffs on top of the Wolves quarter on KWVT, Channel 17. Well, taking a look at the updated team stats here from the first quarter, Michael, I think what I'm kind of most impressed with is just how incredibly even it is across the board. Rushing yards for the Buffs, 88 yards to Western Oregon. The Wolves getting 62. Time of possession, they just have the one extra possession. You know, only about a minute and a half more. Everything feels like this could be a very, very fun afternoon, as there's a fresh set of downs for the Wolves as they start this second quarter.
Fresh set of downs. They can get down the field, keep working Amari Land and Valadares. Just try to stay close with West Texas and make a game out of this as we go. But it looks like there's a lot of scoring ahead of us.
Worthley hands it off to Valadares. Valadares finds a hole. He rips to the middle, hits to the 50, and keeps pushing. I have not seen in all 4 games, I've watched all of them, I've not seen this kind of push and the kind of holes that they're getting.
Yeah, they see something they like up the middle, and they're able to work it up. Valadares isn't touched until about 15 yards down the field. They're right back on the line again.
24-yard pickup, right back to Valadares, right side, squares his shoulders again. He'll drop it to the 40. Wolves marching now in to West Texas territory.
You like how Arn Ferguson's doing it right now. He says, my team can run up the middle. Let's keep doing it until West Texas stops us.
Valadares to the sideline, Land back in. Sampson and Wright now going to be on the bottom of your television screen, right on the Western Oregon University Wolves emblem. One of my favorite things. Mike and I like that emblem so much. Now Worthley standing directly at the top of the W. It'll be second down and 6 on the 41-yard line. Just a minute gone here in the second quarter. Worthley now looking to push it downfield, but pressure coming. He gets it out. He'll find Sampson on the sideline. Sampson's going to be driven out immediately, but I got to give Ryan Worthley credit. That took great poise with that backside. He felt the footsteps.
And as that defensive lineman got through, they're able to almost take him down, but Worthley able to wiggle out of that sack, find his man on the sideline, setting up a 3rd and 2 yards for Western Oregon.
Ball placed around the 37. Looks like they're going to have to get this thing just around or just inside the 35-yard line of the Buffs to keep this drive headed in the right direction. Land on the right side. He'll get the handoff. And now the first time we've seen any penetration from that Buffs defense And I don't know that we'll see Andrew Gross here. I think that the coaching staff has got to feel good about the number of options that they'll have on this 4th down.
Yeah, they have a lot of options. You've seen how the game has gone so far, and as they get up to the line, at least pretend like they're going to go for it and see if they can get the Buffs to jump off sides. There's been a lot of offsides so far in this game.
Nice short yardage situation now for Damian Hickok, who's in there 4th and 2. First 4th down opportunity for this Wolves offense today. Worthley going to go forward. It's going to be close, and it's going to be very, 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 very important where they mark this ball, Michael.
But it looks like they marked it short. You see the offense for Western Oregon coming off the sideline.
I kind of thought, Michael, I was looking at the referees. I hate to say it. I thought maybe he was going to be able to sneak that ball right to the 35. His knees were down well before it, but I thought maybe on that fall.
I think that was a design play for the quarterback to run up the middle, but unfortunately the snap was a little bit low, and it threw his timing off to see if he can work those blocks in front of him. But great job by the Buffs defense to take him down right as he was about to get to that first down. See the Buffs offense out there to see if they can take a bigger lead against Western Oregon.
Buffs already 1 for 1 on their 4th down conversion, as it was Gerber punching it in for their first score. Now Gerber back to going to business, and he's got Khalil Harris back there, and Harris now taking his time, deliberately turns it upfield, and once he gets the steam going, watch out as he turns that ball upfield. Big play on first down and right into Wolves territory.
Yeah, Harris isn't playing right now. He's able to get some great blocking in front of him on the sweep and working his way out to the outside, and then just puts his head down and says, get off of me, each player that is trying to tackle me. I'd rather just step out of bounds when I'm tired after this run.
I tell you, Harris, he kind of reminds me of players in basketball. They move at a different speed, but once he turned it upfield, Harris looks like he is going to be a difficult man to take down this afternoon. Gerber fakes it now going over the top, has a man open, and they are going to get the reception down around the 15-yard line.
Play action look, throws it right over the middle. Somebody's open.
Hard to get the number sometimes, but we'll get it for you. Just give us a break, you know. Bogardus, all right. Noah Bogardus with the pickup.
He gets open and makes a great catch, gets down with a first down.
Red zone territory for this Buffs offense for the 3rd time already in the first half. Big flick out there by Gerber, but he was going right back to Bogardus, but incomplete.
Yeah, trying just to run a quick out to the sideline, but he threw that ball way too hard that time and out of bounds. 2nd and 10 inside the 20, right about the 18-yard line for the Buffs. And I believe they're in field goal position the way their team looked from the first couple of drives. So
if it ended right now, it'd be roughly a 34-yarder. Previous possession, a 31-yard field goal from the special teams unit of the Buffs. 2nd and 10 on the 17. Now they fake it to Harris, and Gerber had room to run, but good containment.
Great containment there as they run that option. It looked like there was a big push up the middle, but he decides to hold on to it. And it looks like he's getting to the outside, but great job by the defensive back to come up and push him out of bounds with just a 4-yard gain there. Set up a 3rd and 6 for the Buffs.
They weren't too kind on the official scorecard, Mike. They're only going to give him 3. That ball will be on the 14-yard line, looking to now get it down to the 7. 3 wide receivers out to the right for Gerber. He's looking that direction, goes underneath, and a chance almost for an interception. One of the first times I've seen this defense get the opportunity it's been looking for.
Yeah, just the pass was just a little bit high. Should have been caught, but the ball goes over. Playing the tip drill, just unfortunate. They could not catch the ball, the Wolves, but it sends out the special teams for the Buffs to see if they can add 3 points to this score.
Any team that plays this Wolves team will know where number 3 is. You know where he is. You can feel him, and you could see that pass just a little bit too much heat and a little too high, as the kick now will be a 31-yard field goal for back-to-back 31-yard field goals. And it is no good, and Western Oregon will now get the ball back and get a chance to go and answer, Mike. What a moment right there. It could have been 13-7. You're still only down a score, but now, hey, you can go out there, you get a score yourself, a touchdown, and you're up.
Yeah,
we're going to call a timeout real quick. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now as we're at break, we had a couple plays. See a quick pass out to Amari Land here. He's getting most of the work on this drive so far. We just had one play while we were at break. Amari Land with a quick 3-yard run up the middle. And then we just had a quick 5-yard pass to the flat. So now it'll be 3rd and a short one for the Wolves. See if they can continue this drive.
Staving off, obviously seeing more Buffs points put on the board. It's a missed 31-yard field goal. And the Wolves are trying to get back out there and establish their tempo today, which has really been behind Omari Land and Andrew Valadares. Another miscommunication. That ball is out, and it will be the Buffs.
Yeah, it looked like that play fell apart right off the beginning. Again, Worthley having a hard time with the handoff, deciding if he wanted to hold on to it. He was using Amari Land as a blocker there, but unfortunately lost the ball. The ball went to the Buffs, sets them up with great field position with a 10-7 lead.
Tough situation right there. All you're looking for is a yard. Then you get it back, and you really give the Buffs momentum here after missing that field goal, and they send Gerber right back out. And so far, Michael, their offense has run 20 plays, 185 yards. They are averaging 6 yards a clip. Actually better than 6 yards a clip, Mike. Bad math on my, more like 8 yards a clip. I mean, they're getting the ball downfield. Tackles coming from everywhere. Gerber, pretty savvy play there. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you have to appreciate what West Texas A&M did on that play. Almost a tackle from the outside, but he's able to get the ball off on that screen. He works it all the way out to the outside. Great tackling by Western Oregon as they're coming up, gang tackling, holding it to a short gain of about 3 yards. It looks like no yards, excuse me. Setting up West Texas with a second and 10 yards.
They gave about a yard, ball on the 29-yard. Little pump fake coming underneath. And they're going to be really close to it at the first down as the throw was low and intended to be such. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Low so his man doesn't get his head taken off, but it does set up a 3rd and short for West Texas there.
Gerber operates well in these situations. 3rd down and 3. Harris gets it going to the left side, gets a block, but a great scheme again from this defense to not allow Harris to get outside and push it forward.
Yeah, Harris has been the workhorse this whole game, but he could not get the edge on that one. The Western Oregon defense coming up in a gang again, sending him a 4th down. No question about this time, they're going for it.
4th and 2. Already 1 for 1 on the game. Obviously, that was inside a yard to go for the Buffs' first score. Harris gets it going forward, but no, it's the fake, and Gerber had me completely confused as he gets easy yardage down to the 15 and going out of bounds.
You're looking at the workhorse Harris to get the ball again, but he held the ball. Great job by Gerber just to get to the outside, get to that 1st down marker. 1st down for the Buffs.
Buffs have almost already put up over 200 yards of offense, and we still have over half of a quarter to play here.
And fortunately for Western Oregon, they've been able to hold them to lower points right now. You see who's going to break right now.
Showing a little bit of pressure. Compton comes back in. He runs up the middle. Little bit of a delay there running off the left side.
But that delay is able to get him up the field for about 7 yards, setting up a 2nd and short for the Buffs.
Wholesale substitutions now coming from the Wolves defense, and they have spent a lot of time with the Buffs in their territory, and right now it brings up 2nd and 10 on the 15-yard line. Take that back. Looks like it was more like 5 yards on that play, so it will bring up a 2nd and 5. Gerber in the shotgun. Calls for it. The handoff. And another set I haven't seen, Michael, another player that I hadn't seen out there yet.
Believe Lindsey, they said?
Marcus Lindsey, running back junior.
Lindsey up the middle again, setting up a 1st and goal for the Buffs.
And they go right back to work as they know they have an opportunity to extend their lead. Same play as they ran on 3rd down, and untouched Gerber into the end zone for a touchdown. Buffs now up 16-7, awaiting an extra point.
And with this option look that the Buffs are doing right now, Western Oregon is just off kilter. They don't know if it's going up the middle or to the outside. And no contain on the outside. Gerber able to get a touchdown. looking to make it 17-7 if they make this extra point.
Urias in for the extra point to make it a 10-point ball game. Kick is up. It is good. And we'll see the Wolves' response here next on KWVT, Channel 17. After the poor communication between Omari Land and Ryan Worthley, that fumble on 3rd and short proved to be costly as the Buffs of West Texas A&M take 7 plays, go 29 yards in 3 minutes.
Unfortunate for Western Oregon because their defense played great to stand before, but just putting them right back out there to play the Buffs were able to work their way down the field and get a touchdown again. See if Western's offense can get them back in the game now.
Curtis Anderson now with another opportunity. Catches this one clean at his 10-yard line. Now moving up the right side, looking for a block. And kind of for the second time today, kind of just almost had the line that would have sprung him loose. But Western Oregon will get this ball around the 33-yard line to start.
I remember a time the Oregon Ducks used to do this the short kick game where they'd kick it inside the 30 to 20-yard line. You don't get a chance to get a real good return, no time to get some speed going. It seems to be the Buffs' plan so far to hold Curtis Anderson in check right now on this return game.
And I think they've kicked away from Marquise. I think that they see him as more of a threat. Now, 2 years ago, I don't know if Anderson was, but I know he's one of the best special teams players in the entire conference. A little bit different action coming out. First down, they're throwing to Marquise. He catches it at 35, turns to the 40. And I've seen, oh boy, if that ball is loose, Sampson just does not like to go down. He will fight. He'll jump up in the air. And it's got to be a dangerous situation here for him. As his helmet comes off, he'll have to come off the field.
Yeah, you see he gets the ball, gets some air there. You have about 5 people around him, taking him down to the ground. It looks like the ball came out right at the end, but he was able to recover it himself, if that actually did go down as a fumble. But recovered it himself, has to get out the game now. And you see Western back to the field with Ryan Worthley leading the offense.
Valadares is going to be in the backfield. Sampson now going over to talk to the trainer. I know he's had a ding on one of those legs all year. They don't talk about it, but he's definitely getting it looked at now. Worthley going to pass again. He'll step up in the pocket. He's going over the top. He's got right open. Strike at the 10. 5. Touchdown. Wolves! 56 yards, and they're right back in it.
Love the spirit from Western Oregon right now. They went down 10 points. Worthley has plenty of time. Man-to-man on the outside. A lot of time in the air, but he got some space, able to catch it right at the 10-yard line, take it to the house. Touchdown, Wolves.
Reminds me of yesteryear and a guy by the name of Tyrell Williams. I mean, Thomas Wright is a nightmare. He's so tall, so lanky.
Very fast on that play as well.
Cosette now for the extra point to bring this game back to a 3-point game. 17-14, Wolves back in it. We'll be back for more explosive action here on KWVT Channel 17. Well, that's easily the most dynamic play I've seen so far for Western Oregon. Ryan Worthley looking to go over the top, steps up in the pocket. Thomas Wright, one-on-one protection, 56-yard strike to bring the Wolves within 3.
Yeah, you see Omari Land get taken out of the game that time, and they just decide, let's pass it deep since our running back's not in the game this time. You think it's going to be power to Valadares? Way over the top, touchdown for the Wolves. The Buffs looking to answer. They keep going. It's back and forth game right now.
Andrew Gross to kick it away for the Wolves. Take that back. That was not. West Texas gets it around the 15. They're looking to get a big play here. And they are going to get great opening field position here on that run. Best I could tell, Michael, that was Heston Marshall.
But a great job by the blocking for the special teams of the Buffs. Able to get to the outside. You see the kicker try to make a tackle there, and everybody's catching up, but he gets to the outside, setting up some great field position at the midfield for the Buffs.
Gerber has been very, very effective operating on Western Oregon's side of the field. He's got about a nose in there right now as they'll start at the 50-yard line. up by 3, 17-14. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Gerber calls for it on the snap. Hand it off. Nope, fake again, and they found a man. And I'll tell you, that seam route, Michael, had Bogardus got that, I would pretty much say you could make reservations for 6.
Yeah, just a little overthrown there. He did have an opening there, but a tough play to match up with there. On to 2nd and 10 for Western Oregon to see if the defense for them can get a little more stops here.
Their option game right now, Michael, you're right. They hesitated. Are they going up the middle or are they going outside? And if Gerber starts getting more accurate with those passes, he's going to find it's going to be easy. A short run here, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. And the Wolves now have an opportunity here to really, really kind of establish that they could be taking control of the second quarter.
And as you see, they have great job by the Western Oregon defense getting some penetration there and then gang tackling right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10, and to see what Gerber can do here on 3rd down.
Gerber's got 4 wide receivers, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, calling for it. Here we go. We got a free play, Michael. Going up over the top, and we might get a secondary penalty, but we're not. If they let that play go, then it is offsides on the defense, right?
It looks like it was offsides on the defense. I don't see any flags, though, yet. Are they talking?
Wow, I'm going to tell you then. If there was a replay of this, Michael, I'm going to say.
Offside.
No, it's offside.
47 on the defense.
I was
penalty.
going to say,
3rd down.
He might have been almost 5 steps.
He's trying to get that step right there. And then Gerber, great job from him getting it down the field, just again overthrown this time. But it does set up some better chance of them with 3rd and 5.
Very manageable. And Anthony Mack Jr. always looking to get going. It's going to be a timeout for the Wolves. They'll step away, and we'll be back to the conclusion of the second quarter
charge
here in just a few
minutes.
Western Oregon now trying to get something back here after that offsides penalty. The Buffs, 3rd and 4, have a plethora of options. Khalil Harris now back in the backfield, and he has been the workhorse that Michael says he is today, as Gerber now snaps and calls for it again. He's looking for something. Has a man wide open. Too soft out there on the perimeter was the Wolves defense.
Well, there's actually a really good pick play by the Buffs there to get the receiver open and allowed for that 1st down as they're running to the outside. Can't quite see it there. It already happened, but there was a great pick there by the slot receiver. And not anything they didn't even need to call. It was a good play. 1st down for the Buffs.
Might be too early to say, but important right now for the Wolves to see if they can relegate this to no score at all. Harris gets it off the left side, and a big hit. Big hit from a DB, Mike. Was that number 6? The best I could tell from my vantage point, that was Micaiah Lee.
Yeah,
he just came up and just
stopped him right there for a 2-yard gain. But again, 2nd and 8 for the Buffs.
But the Buffs are looking at getting a quick score here and stopping it, as they know that they open up the second half with the opening kickoff.
The way this game is going, though, we might see a couple scores here within the...
Anderson was going for the sack. Now Gerber looking and trying to direct traffic, ends up having to throw it out. And I will say this, in all 4 games I watched, that is the first coverage. It's not a sack, but coverage play. It's like where they really got the job done.
Yeah, he's looking down the field. He has some time as he's working his way to the sideline, but nothing really coming to him, and he decides to throw the ball away. Good job by Worthley not to kind of throw anything scary down the field. And great job by the Western Oregon defense to not even give him an open receiver.
Mike has a mid-game trade between the Buffs and Wolves. Worthley now playing for the Buffs. Just kidding.
Apologies.
It'll be Gerber now on 3rd and 8. He's got time to survey the field, and he has a man wide open. And I think it's going to be called a catch, or is he going to be out of bounds? Ooh. Too close to call. Bogardus, I think, makes a clean catch. I just don't think his feet are in bounds.
But it's a good job by the defense there, and you see, but I'm not sure if he holds on to the ball.
Yeah. Actually, if the ball actually ends up in...
Micaiah Lee is as he's tackling him, is trying to get the ball out, and it looks like he knows he got the ball out there. The receiver didn't argue as much when he got up, so it's a 4th down here and 8. See what happens here for the Buffs.
Wolves looking to dial up some pressure, finally get to Gerber maybe, but Gerber's pocket now, he is in trouble, backing up, throws it, it's a wounded duck, and man, 2 plays where finally the defensive line stays home with contain and the DBs are able to make sure nothing big happens on the backside.
You said it right. As he gets over there, he thinks he can go the backside, but no, there's contain, and he knows he has to get rid of the ball on 4th down, throwing it down the field, nothing there for him. And a great job by the Western defense. You know what happened is the Western and West Texas, I took a lot of notes, but it confused me at the beginning of this game. But great job by the Wolves to contain and stop them to set up a 1st down from the 30-yard line.
Turnover.
Just about 3:45 left in the half.
2 timeouts here. Great field position now. Got to have an opportunity here maybe to get a score. It'll be Worthley going back to work. Give it to Land. Land off the right side, cuts it up, makes a man miss, gets pounded, but he gets 6 yards.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to break one for a big hole, but great job by the defensive backs for the Buffs to just say, no, go down here. But a positive game for Western Oregon, about 5.5 yards. And they're going to work the clock to make sure the Buffs don't get the ball back before the end of the half here.
Clock moving towards 3 minutes, over 20 seconds remaining on the play clock. Worthley looking to the sideline again, looking for Trey Shimabukuro, the quarterback's coach, to signal in a play or audible. Worthley now going to go straight out to the, they had Damian Hickok right where they wanted to, and they just couldn't quite get it. Damon Hickok would have got a few yards on that play.
Most likely a 1st down, but again, the RPO look again. They have what they want there, but just the ball underthrown, setting up a 3rd and 5 with 3:01 left in the half. Important to get a 1st down here, not to give the Buffs the ball back here and a chance to score when they are getting the ball first in the second half. So big play here for the Western Oregon Wolves.
Jaron Ford, number 81, checking into the game. Coming across the middle, and a great little slant backside pattern there. Justice Murphy with the reception and moving the chains.
Yeah, just Justice Murphy finding a little hole there inside the Buffs defense, and Worthley with a very confident pass to get it in there, zipped it in there. 1st down for the Wolves. Now they get a chance to work the clock down and see if they can get some points before the end of the half.
Easily the most confident I've seen Ryan Worthley inside or outside the pocket in these initial 5 games. It seems Valadares was not going to get it. Now coming to the outside, finds Ford. Ford will move the chains and go right into Buffs territory.
Again, that run-pass option play again. This time they worked it down the field a little bit further. They've been going to the flat each time, but he finds Ford 12, 15 yards down the field. Great tackle by the Buffs, but 1st down, Western Oregon.
The offense definitely getting a rhythm, and Coach Ferguson keeps the packages out there that have the momentum, and right now they've got something cooking here. Again, very deliberate from Ryan Worthley. He's not in a hurry.
They see the play they like. Here they go.
Hand off to Valadares. Valadares gets through the 1st line. He'll pick up a few yards. Might be an opportunity where they call one of those timeouts, but it looks like they're going to let the play clock run. Nothing happening yet. It'll bring up 2nd and long as we approach a 1.5 minutes remaining here in a very entertaining opening game in Monmouth at MacArthur Field. The first time we've seen anything in 2 years. 17-14, Buffs on top of the Wolves, and it's 2nd down and 8 on the 44-yard line.
Say nice tackle by Taylon Henderson for the Buffs on that last play.
Worthley now looking up, steps up in the pocket. Oh, little flip pass over to Valadares. Valadares in the 30th looking for a blocker. 20, 10, 5. He's pushed out of bounds, and the Wolves are coming and knocking on that door.
Fantastic little pitch play. It looked like the pocket was collapsing. He was going to have some trouble. But sees his running back out of the backfield, and Valadares uses his speed and his strength to work down the field. Great job by the Western Oregon receivers not to get any blocks in the back, because I saw 2 of them looking to make a good block there. But smart play. Now have a chance, 1:11 to work this clock down and see if they can get some points before the half ends.
34-yard flip pass out of the backfield to Valadares. Land now in the game. And Worthley now has all the options. They actually mark it at the 6. That'll be a 38-yard, it looks like, run. Land off the right side, looking up the middle, push, push, push. Won't go down, won't go down, won't go down.
All the way up to the 1 yard line. You got a push, push, push by the offensive lineman. It looks like we might have a
Number
stoppage of the
28
clock.
from West Texas must leave the game for one play due to helmet coming off.
1:01, and the Wolves have come out to play, Michael.
Satchel Escalante with a good job inside that defensive stop on the 1 yard line, but he lost his helmet, has to go to the sideline. And now Western Oregon on the 1 yard line, see if they can get a touchdown.
Punch it in, and they take the lead for the first time at MacArthur Field today. Land on the pitch, cuts it up the middle. Touchdown! Wolves! They're on top! 20-17.
A great job on the goal line by the offensive line. It's a pitch play, and then an even better job by Amari Land, cutting it up, seeing the goal line, and getting the touchdown for Western Oregon to take their first lead of the game.
We might have missed one here, Michael.
What's that?
We might have missed one. I'm going to take a look at it. Not certain yet. I think it was Land, but again, these numbers, we're going to get a spotter someday. Waiting for the extra point from Cosette. Kick is up. The kick is good. And it's 21-17, 40 seconds remaining in the first half here on KWVT, Channel 17. Well, I just love saying, it's Omari's Land, and I love it when he gets in there and he gets in a rhythm, and he's in one today. We've seen him spin out of tackles, and then you see him there at the goal line. Push, push, push. They give it right back to him, Michael, and the Wolves now hosting the West Texas Buffs and have a 4-point lead.
Yeah, Amari Land doing what he does all season, getting the ball down. This is after, I believe, 200 yards in the previous game, and he's working it the same way, 59 yards in this first half.
Like I said, I saw him on that sideline.
And most importantly, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just saw his look. He was like, my best football's in me. It's a low kick. Buffs pick it up around the 30. They have 1 timeout remaining when this clock stops with 35 seconds. And I wouldn't say they're shell-shocked, but they were up 10 points.
Up 10 points and had the ball working it down the field, but when they lost that 4th down earlier, they didn't convert, and Western Oregon drove down the field, and it gave them the momentum back. This is an interesting game of momentum going back and forth. When Western Oregon looks good, they've had penalties or something else. When West Texas looks better, they've also not converted 4th downs. And you see where we're at right now, a very close game, almost heading into the half. We're seeing if the Buffs want to try to score some points here or just run the ball out, run the clock out.
Yeah, only with that 1 timeout starting on around the 37, Michael. We'll see how this first play goes, and I think that'll determine what the Buffs choose to do. Flushed out is Gerber. Gerber in trouble, and it's Parnell, but it's lofted up by Gerber. It's underthrown, and oh my goodness, there can be no call here.
This will be interesting.
Parnell,
see if they'll talk about it, but it doesn't look like they're going, so he looks pretty solid on that.
Wow, everybody, I even think...
Yeah, you see Parnell getting great pressure right as the play goes. He throws the ball. There was a little bit of touching right before.
Micaiah
Lee was able to get position, so I don't know if they called it a
pass interference, number 6 on the defense.
That's a tough call.
Penalties decline. Result of play is 1st down.
I guess the part is because he's underneath. Usually you'd see from behind.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of face guarding at the beginning, but he was able to get underneath it. You know, as long as you get a chance to catch the ball, it shouldn't be a pass interference. But
Markel Stevens was the intended target. Parnell, like Michael was saying in the break, already had 6 tackles, now showing pressure. I got to tell you, you got to watch number 9, and it's in the history of Western Oregon when you talk about
Correct.
that position.
The result was an incomplete pass, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
You know, you talk about
but with 26 seconds left, important. The Buffs do have 1 timeout left to see if they can get down the field. Approximately 25 yards, it looks like, is the field goal range. So Western Oregon's defense has some work to do to make sure that the Buffs don't get any points before the half, as they are getting the ball in the second half, the Buffs.
The clock did stop, Michael, kind of a free timeout with 26 seconds. Curtis Anderson now signaling out a play. Everybody moving for this Wolves defense. Gerber to pass, looking over the middle, throws back shoulder.
incomplete. He'll take it down to 21 seconds, 2nd and 10, just inside Wolves territory where they have spent the majority of this first half.
Western Oregon has to be aware that the Buffs are trying to get to the sideline, but they do have one timeout, so they can go over the middle one play. We'll see what happens here on this play.
Gerber has not been as sharp a passer as he was advertised. Doesn't mean he won't make adjustments, but he has not been able to do as much as we thought he'd be able to do. As he looks out to the right side, and underneath he goes to Borgardis. Borgardis will get it. Tackle made. They'll stop the clock with the first down. 14 seconds.
It looks like the Buffs are saying they're going to down the ball. We'll see what happens here.
10, they do. So you've got time here to go to the sideline or to get a play in them. You can't go to the middle and get a timeout. You got to go with this amount of time in 10 seconds. It's a play to the sideline and then take out the field goal unit.
I mean, if they have the timeout, they can get any kind of play over the middle, even a short one, and take the timeout here. Just depends where they want to set up the kicker. Unless they decide to go to the house.
Yeah, I mean, right now, 53-yarder where the ball is positioned. Gerber now at the Wolves 37, looking to see if he can get points on the board before the end of this half. Gerber has pressure now. Of course, it's coming from Parnell. And there's a flag late and broken up, double coverage. Bogardus was going to get it. Flag is definitely in the area of holding.
Yeah, and as he gets to the outside, it looks like there was a hold in the middle there. I would call this a pass interference more than the Micaiah Lee play from earlier. But it looks like the play is going back.
Any runoff here, Michael, if it is a hold?
I'm not sure on this one. It's an incomplete pass, so I don't think so.
Holding, number 75 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot, 2nd down.
Adam Alcorta, 6'5", 300-pound sophomore, charged with the holding penalty. That'll move the ball back much closer to midfield. So you have to assume here, as you see 3, Bogardus comes out to the bottom of your screen. Markel Stevens, they are going to exercise that last time out. Michael, we'll just keep it here. Actually, it's Western Oregon.
Timeout. Western Oregon.
We'll hang it out
That's
right
the final
here.
timeout of the half.
Just in case any of the players have the questions we have right now. What's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next? I mean, you're right at midfield. I think anybody that plays the position of quarterback dreams of Hail Marys. The best thing here, if you're the coaching staff of Western Oregon, is you cannot have a defensive penalty here.
No defensive penalty. Knock the ball down when it gets to the end zone if that's what they're attempting. Again, with 2 seconds left, there's not much chance of setting up a field goal unless there's a penalty. So
pretty impressive right now. I mean, both of these teams, when they do pass the ball, are averaging right around 13 yards a catch. 13 yards doesn't do anything here. It's got to be something.
The halftime with Jalen Purnell and Omari Land, there'll be a couple of interviews with them.
Nice. Didn't even know that. News coming to me, broken by you, Michael Brown. I love it.
There's a voice in my head. I just repeat what they say.
I just say what you don't have to take medication for that, do you? That's great. 2 seconds remaining in what I would consider very entertaining. It's been a long time coming to be here on a 70-degree day with not a hint of a cloud in the sky. The Western Oregon Athletic Program couldn't be happier to have everybody here, but a big play to end this half. The Buffs will take it. Gerber now in Wolves territory. He's flushed. He's in trouble. And it was Parnell, but Gerber goes and he gets it up in the air. It is high, high, high. Knock it down. Here it goes. It's been knocked down. No defensive penalty. We'll go to halftime with the Wolves leading the Buffs. 21-17, it'll be halftime interviews with Parnell and Jaron Ford coming up on KWVT Channel 17. Michael, 21-17, trailing by 10 late in the second quarter. Omari Land, 2 touchdowns, 21-17. That's where it stands.
That's where it stands. You see how it's gone the whole day. Worthley just working down the field. Had a nice deep pass at one point. The offense has been consistent outside of a couple of inconsistencies on some throws to the flat, some miscommunication, handoffs. They've got it together going into the half at this point.
Great work getting us some replays from the first half. We're not going to go through it play-by-play, but we want to thank everybody on the technical side for getting that. It makes it a much easier job for Michael and I to go ahead and break down those plays. We'll take a look right now, basically at the first half stats, and I'm impressed by both teams, but I think maybe what I'm most impressed by Western Oregon, and I kind of said something, and I want to take it back. I said I don't know if Ryan Worthley can get that ball really down the field. He goes 56 yards over the top to Thomas Wright. And Worthley's got 181 yards passing alone in this first half. He only averages 200 yards a game.
And they're almost there already. Yeah, you like how he's gotten the ball to right down the field. Amari Land in the flats as they're running those RPOs as the game's been going along. And it's nice. It's a nice competition with the Buffs. The Buffs have been working down the field with Harris, Gerber, finding some people open as well. Western Oregon can get some backside contain, as you see on this play early from Harris as he got around to the outside. He's been a workhorse. He's been doing very well for the Buffs. It's a fun game so far.
Kind of impressed with the efficiency so far of Ryan Worthley. Come on in, Mike. We're just getting warmed up. Ryan Worthley, efficient, the 14 of 17 for that 181, but now you put on 120 yards, 308 yards of total offense. I mean, you keep that up, quick math says that's 616 yards. I mean, you probably win a football game if you can get 616 yards.
Yeah, they're controlling the ball and working the ball, working especially the Buffs defense, and that's what they want to do the whole entire time.
They even won the time of possession battle. And again, we were talking about it. We know there's some misprints looking at these stats, but Khalil Harris being such the workhorse that you were calling him, and I think that's appropriate on those very delayed runs. And then I think they took Gerber. That defense finally stepped up, and you talked about Parnell probably being the reason why, just disrupting it.
Parnell on the backside every single time he's getting in there. 6 tackles in the first half, and you saw right before the half he was able to get in there. It's not letting Gerber be comfortable as that second quarter rolled on.
As we go towards the end of this half, if you are talking to just yourself, not even from a coaching perspective, but you've got to go out there and you go, we have not been here. We have a lead. We've got to push it. They're going to get the ball. The Buffs get it back to start. Where does it begin? Does it begin just, hey, get a 3 and out, or just get them off the field as quickly as possible?
Coin flip. It's either they want to continue what they're doing, being a high-powered offense, or are they trying to get control of the game, control the clock? It's very early at this point with just a 4-point game, especially with the Buffs getting the ball first. If the Buffs can go down there and score, it might just be a back and forth the whole entire time. It's very important. It's a very important drive to start the second half.
It's a non-conference game, but next week Michael and I and the entire KWVT crew will be back. Central Washington University, the arch rival of Western Oregon, will come in. It'll be the same 105 kickoff with everybody. We're going to step away from a break, but don't forget, we're always going to be here 105 next week, October 9th. Central Washington comes a call in here to play Western Oregon. We'll step away for a short break here on KWVT, Channel 17. As we take a look at those lovely W's on the side of Western Oregon and the Wolves helmets, the sideline, definitely enthusiastic as it's the first action that anyone has seen here in almost 2 years. And I did start the broadcast and telecast off with just the enthusiasm that Arn Ferguson and his coaching staff said, I've never had an easier time coaching a team, but how important it is to get back into the community. And then I talked to somebody completely not associated with it, but they're in the athletic department, and I talked to Spencer Six, and he talked about this environment and the community of Monmouth and just the heart that is in it. And you can feel it and you can see it in the play on the field today, Michael. The Wolves have come here, even though 1-3, battered on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe even maligned offensively. And they've turned it all around here. And I know it's only 30 minutes of football.
Only 30 minutes of football, but dare we say it, a home field advantage for Western Oregon. Something we really haven't seen. But after the last season, a while ago, they were able to get some wins at home, and you could see it coming through right now. The program's doing very well, and a lot of fans out here supporting the team. It's a great deal for Monmouth right now.
Apparently, they say it only rains here in Oregon, but not so today. Picture perfect scene to have this game to kick off it as it did earlier today. Wolves on top, 21-17 over the Buffs. And it really has been a little bit of everything on the offensive side. We have seen the explosion over the top to Thomas Wright with the 56-yard touchdown from Worthley, and then Amari Land multiple times in between the tackles and in between the 20-yard lines. Just power running, not stopping. Andrew Valadares coming in and backing it up and validating it. Arn Ferguson and everybody has to be enthusiastic about the work week that they put in to get prepared for this game as they set to kick the ball off and give the Buffs the opening possession of the second half.
And for the Buffs, we need to see something from Markel Stevens, leading receiving touchdowns for him with 3 touchdowns so far this season. We haven't heard his name so much. They're going to try to get him going on this drive, the Buffs.
He was a part of that play with Micaiah Lee and actually was the intended target down there, and you really can't miss him. He will wear number 11, and he looks like he's quite a big person. As the Wolves get set to kick this ball off, leading by 4 at the start of the third quarter here on KWVT. I'm Matt Palumbo alongside Michael Brown and director Ken Louis Tag. And here we go, in good field position possibly here, but an open field tackle by Thomas Mack Jr., and it was like a Mack truck hit him.
The returner thought he was going to get somewhere, but again, just like the Amari Land in the first half, up in the air, spun around. Great form tackle. They do start off with the ball on the 37-yard line. Decent field position to start the second half. A lot of short kicks in this game so far, and we do see a flag on the field.
Offside, number 85 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, added at the end of the run. First down.
Buffs get called for the offsides on the kicking team. That would be Western Oregon. I apologize. They'll tack 5 yards onto that. That'll bring the ball all the way out to the 40-yard line. Gerber only 8 of 18 in that first half. They did run the ball effectively, the Buffs did. 20 times, and it says they netted 133 yards. Gerber now, first play to start the second half. 14:55 remaining. Harris gets it, gets his initial block, turns it up to the 50, and I'll tell you, it is something. Once he gets it up to speed, it looks like something's coming big to hit you.
As he got the ball, he works it to the outside very quickly. And a couple of missed tackles and some lost footing by Western Oregon. They're a great pickup for the Buffs to start the second half.
Bogardus, number 8, a couple of nice receptions in the first half will be on the bottom of your television screen. Harris stays in the game after getting first down yardage. And again, Buffs are in Western Oregon territory. Now under a minute gone here in the third quarter. Gerber goes to Harris. Harris waits for the block. Goes forward, and even going forward at that speed, 5 or 6 yards for this Buffs offense.
Really good blocking by the Buffs on that play, letting Harris work his way up the middle of the field for a positive gain on first down.
Yeah, you could see literally the interior of that line was 3 yards in front of him, just like, come on behind. We've got a nice avenue for you to run down.
Getting the push and then trying to work their way to the defensive backs. Great job by the Buffs there.
Gerber has not put the ball in the air. They go right back to Harris. Harris turns it to the 20. He's got a block. Looked like a block in the back, but he'll go out of bounds near the 10-yard line, Michael. Almost a 30-yard pickup.
Just the same play, it looks like, as the first play, but this time they do make it to that second tier, work their way down the field for another big gain. 2 very, very large gains for the Buffs, and they're getting right back on the ball, trying to push it again.
Marking that ball inside the 15. Now the fake. Gerber now in trouble. Anderson smart enough not to hit the quarterback while going out of bounds.
And with the option look, he's able to get to the outside this time, working his way again. The defenders are trying to get up to him, but he's working his way with his speed to the sideline. Some great blocking by the receiver down the field, setting up a second down and 1.
Harris gets it up the middle, and I'll tell you, the tempo of this game, just took off. I know there's only a couple of minutes gone, but
it looks like the Buffs offense came out to play, and the Western Oregon team is still getting out of the halftime, and they have to wake up here being first and goal from the 1-yard line.
Wide open. I do see a penalty flag in the very far part of the end zone.
Yeah, with no defender over there, some miscommunication by Western Oregon. We need to see what the call is on this play, though.
I don't know if it's a penalty or not. It's a strange spot. It's not even on the field.
I see the refs talking, so there is some kind of play. I don't know if there's too many men on the field for Western Oregon where that flag is. But the special teams unit is out there for the Buffs in order to kick the extra point.
Scorekeepers haven't put it.
Result of play is a touchdown. During play, legal substitution. On the defense, please decline. PAT try.
But obviously some terrible miscommunication there where there's no cornerback on a wide open receiver in the end zone.
Urias now back in to kick another extra point and see if he can push the Buffs lead out to a field goal. Clean snap, down. Urias' kick is good. And with very little time off the clock, the Buffs are now on top 24-21 here on KWVT, Channel 17. Well, it might be early fall and a very nice day here, Michael, but I'll tell you, the Buffs of West Texas felt like all their two-a-days just paid off. They came out of that halftime trailing and just looked like they were a sled going downhill.
Downhill and got back to their game plan, just running the ball, working the ball to the outside with Gerber, using his speed, setting up the option plays, and allowed them to have a wide-open receiver in the end zone. But now it's Western Oregon's turn to see if they can get something going from the special teams, and then the offense to come out, score on their first drive of the half.
I mean, Gerber been so effective. Another short kickoff, and interesting here. Oh, my goodness. I will guarantee you in the tape room, a little bit more extracurricular activity. Somebody on that Western Oregon sideline is going to be made fun of.
Yeah, there looked like he was trying to call for a fair catch and then changed his mind and then just went down and knocked over the returner. But there was a flag, some extracurriculars on the sideline. 2 players went out of bounds. It may be offsetting. We'll see here shortly. I didn't see who started it. Sometimes it's the second person that gets the call.
Well, those final two.
Personal foul, number 35, on kicking team, 15-yard end of the run. First down.
I believe he ripped him out of bounds, pushed him out of bounds after the play was over. Now it's time for Western's offense to see if they can get going, especially with good field position.
Isaiah Smallwood will be called for the penalty.
Just a tough play. I saw it didn't seem like it was that crazy, but it was enough to get a call because he was way out of bounds at the time.
Great camera work there. The defense all huddled around. Coach Ferguson definitely had something to say. It had to be a little bit unsettling to see what happened, how the second half started, as Worthley and Land already with 2 touchdowns on his left side. They'll go to Land on the first play. He's looking for it, but again, maybe early on, this is what we expected to see from the Buffs, but there was no breathing room for Amari Land on that play.
Yeah, as he tried to just get a little counter there is a wall of Buffs there, able to take him down. No gain. Sets up Western Oregon again, 2nd and 10.
Got this ball marked on the 42. Haven't seen this formation with Land directly behind Ryan Worthley. Play clock now down to 15. Worthley only 3 incompletions in that first half. We'll hand it to Land. Land onto the left, turns to the 50, gets his head down. And I have not seen Omari Land run with this kind of conviction, obviously, in 2 years. He is squaring people up. He wants to go shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
Just off the left tackle, able to get to the outside, and then run straight forward as soon as he gets past the line of scrimmage. Able to get 9 yards on that play, setting up a 3rd and very short, 3rd and inches for Western Oregon. Very big play here early in the second half.
Bottom of your television screen, Thomas Wright already with a touchdown of over 50 yards. Marquise Sampson with a wonderful diving catch in the first quarter. 2 wide receivers, Damon Hickok, and it looks like Jaron Ford up top. And we are going to get a quick timeout here.
Timeout, Western Oregon.
Western will call a timeout. We'll step away from the action, and we'll be right back after these messages. Dwayne Benjamin wearing the number 26, Michael, or is it Billy Nelson? Maybe Billy Nelson in there. Lands straight forward. He's going to get it with the momentum. So they sent in a different look there, and I think we had the right call, Michael. Obviously, Buffs did not like the personnel set up there.
Battle of looks there. Both teams trying to see what they wanted against the other team. Each time not working. not trying. And then now all of a sudden Western Oregon able to get the first down, 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
They've
47.
pushed it into Buffs territory. Valadares had a great first half as well. Valadares carried the ball 4 times for 53 yards. Thomas Wright in motion across your screen. He sets. Worthley looking in that direction. He's got pressure. Flicks it out to Damon Hickok. Hickok at the 40. 30 looking for a block. Sends it upfield. It'll go down to the 20-yard line. 27-yard pickup.
I believe this play was to Hickok all the way. He's coming across the middle. He doesn't see him right away, but as he gets some space and open, he throws it to the outside, and then Hickok uses his speed to get down the field.
These plays are tough to develop, Mike, because it comes from the other side of the field, so you have to have the time to get it.
Have the time, but he was able to stand in the pocket, just move enough, found his receiver, and a good pickup, great pickup there for Western Oregon. Inside the red zone, trying to score.
Really a nice set of weapons for Ryan Worthley this afternoon. He has spread the rock around. Ford in motion. Valadares off the left side. Spins away. Would have been a loss on the play, Michael, and he turns it into positive yardage.
Valadares being tough out there as he has the whole entire day. Takes one hit off the beginning, spins off. Very positive yards for 3 yards. A lot of running out there on the field for 3 yards, but a very good job not to have a loss in the backfield.
Seth Gregory came up with a great block on that play, and I think he thought there could have been more there. I just saw him smack his hands. Right now, 2nd and 6. Right on the edge of the red zone is this Wolves offense, and the Buffs defense now has to pin back their ears. Land gets the ball off the right side. No. And they show a totally different look. They actually brought in the backup quarterback. That was Gannon Winkler in there.
And the amazing thing about that is it looks like a lot of run action there. After the receiver goes in motion to the other side of the field, you have 2 open receivers there. Just some...
Apology, it was Wyatt Harsh.
Okay, Wyatt Harsh. Just a little bit of off placement on the ball there, bringing up a 3rd and 6 for the Wolves.
Right on the 10-yard line is where Western Oregon will have to get this ball on the bottom of the screen. Jaron Ford, Marquis Sampson up the slot, Thomas Wright at the top of your screen. Land gets it off the left side. Not much there. And I don't imagine I see this team going for it on 4th down. They marked that ball around the 22, 23. It's going to be right around a 40-yard field goal, Michael.
Conservative call, but it's one of those that if maybe they gain 6 or 5.5, 6, 7 yards there, set up a 4th and 1, maybe they'll think about it, but just a short gain, so you bring out the special teams, try to tie up the game here.
3 field goals on the season for Cosette. They marked it. Good kick. Just doesn't make it. We'll step away for a break. There'll be more 3rd quarter action coming up on KWVT, Channel 17. Second down and 10 after the missed field goal. All you missed was a Gerber incomplete pass. Supposedly efficient now. Has had 11 incompletions from his own 20-yard line with Harris in the backfield. Harris gets it, not much room. Parnell in for another tackle.
First half, Parnell's on the other side. We can't see him as well, but now we get to see Parnell tear it up the field. He's been tearing it up all season, keeping contained on that outside, but working into getting an assist on that tackle as the interior of the Western defense able to make a stop here. 3rd and 10 for Buffs with a free play.
And they're going to get a free play, so Gerber goes deep, and he gets it, and turns it up, and they run it out of bounds, and the play will stand, Mike.
Play stands after an offsides. Looked like he was quite a bit across the line. They could have called the ball dead there, but they're able to get the ball down the field for a ginormous gain, the biggest gain of the game so far.
That's a freshman, Tyree Tipton.
And Tipton, second leading receiver, able to get out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, setting up a 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Buffs.
Offside on the defense, number 19. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 1st down.
That's a 65-yard completion.
Yeah, and after Western able to score at the end of the first half, the Buffs have taken over control of this game, and it's important for Western to get a stop here to keep the game close.
Harris gets it, gets some good blocking up front. Tackles coming again.
And you see that, and you see some extracurriculars here. A lot of pushing and shoving in there. We'll see what happens here.
Curtis Anderson in the middle of it. I'm not surprised.
Some frustration from people in the interior there, as it's a very good tackle on Harris there, but a lot of extra pushing, and I see some shoving in the face. We'll see what the call is.
They're talking about it. Maybe it's going to be offsetting. Not sure yet.
I think there was 2 different flags thrown for 2 different incidents, so we'll see how this works out.
Cougar Smith involved in the initial part of that tackle.
Result of the play, second down. The end of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 on the defense. That's his first UNS of the game.
And as you said, Curtis Anderson in there trying to make a play, pushing a little bit after the play. The discipline for Western Oregon needs to be a little bit better. As the season's been going on, they've had a lot of penalties that have really affected their defense. And again, the momentum very important. But the Buffs have first and goal now inside the 10-yard line at the 6.5, we'll say.
Obviously, we've seen the Wolves in this position before. Any moral victory could come if they could get them stopped and only give up 3 points. But right now, it really looks like it's a downhill sledding event for West Texas and the Buffs offense. Harris gets it, and the Wolves, and you see him there again. I mean, number 9 is in the middle of anything in the middle.
Yes, he's coming from the outside, and he's getting in there so fast. Harris isn't able to really make any moves, but a great job by Jalen Parnell to be able to get the tackle in the backfield, setting up a second and goal from the 9-yard line.
Gerber now with Harris. Both of them been effective running the ball. Number 15 and number 34. Gerber comes to the line of scrimmage, maybe gives a little bit of a different look. Harris moves to his right from his left. On the 8-yard line, Gerber looking in that direction underneath, and it's intercepted by the Wolves. First time this season you have seen something. Momentum was crashing down on them.
Yeah, as they're getting to the goal line, he throws it over the middle. Great interception. Questionable to take it out of bounds, but he had that momentum to see if he can get down the field. After that long play where the receiver ran out of bounds, the defense for Western Oregon is able to stop the Buffs and get another chance to get back in this game down by 3 points.
Again, we're struggling with the numbers. We'll get it later on in the game. We'll give credit where credit is due.
He's watching.
Yeah, Michael and I are starting to find out we've got so many people watching this game that we don't know who they are. We're getting all sorts of information, but we'll get you the correct information on the interception. On the 9-yard line, Western Oregon starts, and they have really got an opportunity here, Mike, if they can just get a few first downs and knock some clock off here to get things back where they were.
And again, they're trying to get the running game established here, running up the middle for a very positive gain of 5 yards. And that's what they need to do, is continue to work the ball down the field, They've had a great job in the first half taking care of the ball, and they need to continue it right now.
They get 5 on first down. It'll give Worthley some options. Hands it off to Val. Nope, keeps it on the play action underneath. Thomas Wright looks it in. Wright will get first down yardage, and really, I'd say growth from 2 years ago. All you look at is this very tall person, and now you see good hands, good footwork, good route running.
Yeah, running the RPO, and it looks like they're going to go to the outside. But Wright is taking his route right over the middle, able to hold on to that ball to secure a first down. And Western Oregon's starting to drive right now.
Thomas Wright dropped his first pass, but since then, new man. First down and 10 on the 26-yard line. Another again, play action fake. Again, taking his time. Thomas Wright keeps the ball, and I'm surprised there it is. I'm surprised. That was completely done. and then got driven into the ground out of bounds.
Yeah, as you see, it's a quick play action pass. Wright has a tendency to step back to figure out what he wants to do. Great stiff arm, showing him up, but yeah, way out of bounds. We'll see what the refs have to say here.
Thomas Wright came off and gave us a nice flex. You know, again, just a different player since that first drop.
And just a heads up with him, he did look to come to the sideline just now and being worked on by the trainer.
End of the play on sportsmanlike conduct. Number 28 on the defense. 15 yards. End of the run. Automatic first down. Number 28 must leave the game for one play due to.
And the unfortunate thing, we don't want to see any silly penalties right now. It does make a big difference for both teams. It's such a close game. These penalties are making a big difference.
The Lone Star Conference is becoming something quite common for Western Oregon to play, as the GNAC Conference has had attrition with Humboldt and the Sousa Pacific. But common opponents all over the place for these Buffs and Wolves as they go head-to-head in what's turned out to be a very, very fun game. 24-21 Buffs on top of the Wolves. Now 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Worthley in the shotgun, Omari Land flanking him to the left. They'll fake it to Land, and Worthley wants to go over the top. Look for a man. And I'll tell you, Justice Murphy had just got a little bit more inside on that route. Again, would have been 6 points.
Good job by the defender there to block him off, not let him get down the field without any kind of holding or pass interference. Going for it all there, Western Oregon. Now it's 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Just into Buffs territory. That ball marked on the 47-yard line. And has been customary from the sideline all day. Multiple calls coming and giving Worthley basically the keys to the offense. And so far, very efficient throwing and getting great runs from Valadares and Land. Land gets it off the right side, cuts it back to the left, spinning around. And they wrap him up not before he gets just past the 50-yard line.
And he knows it. He's telling everybody on the sideline he was just off from breaking that one. As he gets through the middle of the line, spin move to try to give himself some more room. Taken down by a solid tackle, a 5-yard gain for the Wolves, setting up a 3rd and 5 for Western here, as the Buffs are having some problems trying to figure who they need to get off the sideline. Now they're going to take a timeout.
Timeout from the Buffs. We'll be back for more action here in the third quarter on KWVT, Channel 17. As we were coming out of the timeout, Ryan Worthley got the snap. Ball goes to the ground. Offensive linemen, luckily enough, are stumbled upon it, stalling out this drive, and Andrew Gross has to come out and kick, I believe, for the first time today.
I believe for the first time as well. No penalties, no turnovers. But West Texas A&M Buffs are going to have decent field position. We'll see how the Western Oregon special teams will handle this.
Gross has put a couple of these literally, inside the 20. Good left footer, a little bit of a squabbly kick. Everybody's got to stay away from this. And it bounces in his favor. I mean, look, I don't care.
Very, very fortunate for Western Oregon that the punter wasn't down. Gross almost looked like he had his knee down trying to collect that ball, but is able to stand up and get rid of the ball, sending the ball inside the 30-yard line.
Time off the clock. Defense gets a little bit of rest. Obviously, they have had a tough start to the second half, still only trailing by 3. Jalen Parnell influencing this game pretty much every play now that we see. Once you said, hey, maybe you want to pay attention to number 9. And Gerber, again, not able to get any rhythm passing the ball. Has relied mostly on his own running game, and then as he hands off to Harris. But no, again, Gerber really sees it well when he knows that they are keyed up on Harris.
Yeah, this time there's 4 down defensive linemen for Western Oregon, but he's still able to get outside of the contain and right back to the line of scrimmage for West Texas. Gerber, you're right. He does have amazing control of this game right now, deciding the right times to hold on to the ball and the right times to let the running back go down the field with it. And then they're setting up a pass play eventually as well.
No, they are. And like I said, obviously on the free play, we saw him go over the top and get the 65-yarder that almost set up another score. Good push from the offensive line. Harris goes right up the middle.
Slow and methodical with Harris every single time, and occasionally he'll break it to the outside, This time he's just working it inside the tackles, grinding on that Western Oregon defensive line. Quick no huddle.
Quick third quarter. Penalty flag right around the 27-yard line, Michael. The pass is complete. It would be first down yardage depending upon what the flag is.
See him on both sides of the field.
Legal formation, 5-minute field. 5-yard penalty from previous spot, second down.
Fortunate for the Western Oregon Wolves there that there's a penalty on the offense. Instead of a big gain for the Buffs, pushes them back to a 2nd and 11 as the clock rolls. And Gerber and Harris trying to figure out what they're going to do next.
They haven't had much trouble with it today. Both players definitely en route to very large rushing totals. Harris gets it right back. Harris bottled up. Very, very nice play. Defensive back, number 24, Ryan Mitchell.
Ryan Minetti.
Minetti, correct, thank you. Why wouldn't I know that? It sounds Italian.
He's been around too. You can notice him by the hair, but yeah, he's able to get in the backfield and make a very, very good one-on-one tackle, setting up a 3rd and long for the Buffs.
That'll move it back to 12 yards needed. Have to have the ball out to the 39-yard line. Will this Buffs offense? Now under 6 seconds. They're burning time. 4.
Only one timeout left.
2, only one. They're not getting it off. They got it off. Wow. Stepping up Gerber, and he's sacked. Defensive line sacked. Stepping up big is this Wolves defense today.
And Gerber thinks he has some times. Nope, steps up, but the defensive tackle is there to take him down. He got that Lamar Jackson extra second on that delay of game there, but the defense holds up. And the punt team comes out for the Buffs.
Marquis Sampson looks like he wants to get shot out of a rocket or be a rocket right now. Coverage sack though, right, Michael?
Most definitely. And it was very quick. He had to step up right away. But good job by the Western defense.
Marquis Sampson looking to put his stamp on this game. A bad kick again. And Western Oregon is going to inherit this ball in their own territory. And you can just sense they just need to get it into the end zone.
It's very scary in the backfield that time. Curtis Anderson up to the punter, but does not knock him down until the play is ways away. Knocks him down afterwards, helps him up. But a great job getting the ball inside the 50-yard by that defense and special teams. And now Western Oregon, with 30 seconds left in this third quarter, trying to see if they can tie this game up or take the lead with the momentum going into the fourth quarter.
Braden Welch, for lack of a better word, shanks one out of bounds about 20 yards. Wolves will pick up the ball at the 45-yard line. Worthley and Land are in the backfield, and a 3-wide receiver set for this offense. Land gets it off the left side, tries to go forward. Again, churning, and he literally turned a 1.5-yard gain into 3, almost 4 yards.
Running a counter there, and again, hiding behind his blockers, trying to work with them. They get to the outside. He takes that yards that he knows he's going to get there. And it looks like about 2nd and 8 as we get to the end of the third quarter here. Just 7 seconds left. Don't think there's going to be another play.
Western Oregon survives what I would consider to be a very scary third quarter. We'll head to the fourth.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Trailing by 3 are the Wolves, 24-21. Fourth quarter and all the action remaining here on KWVT Channel 17. 15 minutes left on the clock in regulation in a tightly contested non-conference game between two teams that have never played before. The West Texas A&M Buffs on top by a field goal over Western Oregon as we start this fourth quarter. 2nd down and 8, and Western Oregon on its own 43 and driving. Worthley looking to push it underneath, finds his relief valve. Valadares trying to turn it up. Valadares gets to the 25, to the 20, will not be taken down. That's a 23-yard pickup, and that was mostly all him.
Great job by Valadares underneath, and Worthley finds him, and he makes all the moves to get down the field. All the receivers running go routes down the field, and it just opens up the middle. And Valadero is also strong, but very shifty as well, setting up a first down for Western Oregon.
They'll spot that ball on the 20-yard line.
And as you see, looking to the sideline to figure out which play they want to run. Worthley calling for the snap. Valadero is right up to the line of scrimmage, trying to gain some yards, but a stacked defensive line there for West Texas A&M, able to hold them up for just a short gain of 1. And you wonder, as West Texas plays this game, traveling here 1,313 miles, if they're getting tired as this game goes along, as you have a giant core of the team going to the sideline right now and some substitutes coming out here. Western up to the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again. 4 wide.
Justice Murphy now in the bottom of your screen. Land in the backfield. Worthley now going to survey the field, looking over the middle, has a man open. Low pass. Murphy's going to get the touchdown call. He said he was going to show you a big day. Murphy with the 20-yard touchdown from Worthley.
Worthley waiting, had a great amount of time in that backfield. Finds Murphy over the middle, down to the ground, waiting to see if the referee's going to call the touchdown and a catch, and they do. Western Oregon takes the lead. Extra point to come.
For Western Oregon, there is justice, and his last name is Murphy. Touchdown Wolves looking to tack on the extra point, and the Wolves go on top by 4. More fourth quarter action coming up on KWVT, Channel 17. I do believe it's the former San Francisco 49er wide receiver. Somebody like Terrell once said, get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready. We're having a very close game here at MacArthur Field. It's been a while since we've seen one of these. Central Washington a few years ago, a couple years ago. But now we're going to see what Western's defense can do against these Buffs offense that had a great...
Everybody, I don't know. Ole, I think they were going to be offsides again. There we go. Hey. Not even, can you get a false start on a kickoff?
I've never seen that before like that. I thought the ball fell off the tee.
I felt the little Costanza coming up short.
Our first long kick of the game. We'll see how this works out.
Pursuit from the Wolves. Here it comes. But again, Buffs always seem to be starting their possessions very nicely. And obviously we've seen what they're able to do running the ball effectively throughout the afternoon behind the two-headed monster of Harrison Gerber.
Harrison Gerber, and then occasionally they'll go out to Tipton, who's got over 100 yards today and a touchdown reception. And now you want to see what Parnell, Curtis Anderson, Minetti, the rest of the defense, who's been making big plays as the game goes along, to see if they can continue it after that last drive.
Interesting position now. The Wolves are in, Michael. They lead by 4. Field goal is not going to get the job done. This has to be scoring from this Buffs offense. Gerber calling his own play again, and he really seems to know when that backside is exposed.
There may be something he sees before the plays to let him know, but right away he has that edge. The defensive tackle's too slow to keep that edge for him, and he knows it. He picks up a good 7 yards here to start their drive.
7-yard pickup, moving the ball out to the 40-yard line. Couple of timeouts already called by this Buffs offense. Harris trying to get there. Curtis Anderson almost got him. Would have been a nice tackle for loss. But it's kind of been the story of Curtis Anderson's season. He just seemed to me, just has not had that breakout moment. And is he on the ground on the far side as we speak?
I believe it's a West Texas A&M player.
Right.
He seems to have a cramp out there as they're stretching out his leg. But yeah, as Harris gets to the outside, it looks like he's going to be taken down in the backfield. It looked like Curtis Anderson had him in his back, and he didn't want to get a horse collar or anything else like that, and basically let him go. But the defense came up to support and held him.
It was Curtis. It was
Curtis
down. It was Curtis Anderson.
Thank you.
No. Ken gave a great call. Let us know that it was somebody down in a gray shirt. Again, Curtis plays such a physical style that even on what you'd call an average or benign play,
Sometimes he's going to come up just a little bit, gimpy. Right now looks like nothing too serious, walking under his own power.
But as he comes off the field, one of the better players on the Western defense sets up a 3rd and short for the West Texas A&M Buffs.
Right to Harris. Harris goes up the middle, moving the ball closer to midfield. They'll pick up the first down. Chains will move.
And one of those scary plays when it's, 3rd and short, 4th or short, as you break past that defensive line, you always think maybe they can break it for a 50-yarder, but they're stopped with a first down and 10.
Darren Ulrich Jr. in the game, replacing Curtis Anderson, being tended to by medical personnel on the sideline. Harris again with that very delayed start. This could be costly here. Harris could not get that engine moving in a north-south direction, and then it collapsed upon him. And I won't be surprised coming out of that, you might see number 9.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting there. The whole defensive lineman back in the backfield, able to stop him. Harris has done a great job of getting to the outside and getting himself some more yards. This time not able to do it. Curtis Anderson back on the field for Western Oregon. 2nd and about 13 for the Buffs.
Gerber's going to have to push this ball down the field effectively for them to get ahead in this game, I think. And he starts with a nice pass out. Smartly done there. Western Oregon did not pick up the penalty.
And right as you say that, he does work the ball down the field for a first down. Wide open receiver there, one-on-one on the outside, able to get to the sideline. Positive gain. Buffs moving.
Gerber goes out to the right side. I couldn't tell if that ball didn't hop, but they're going to say completed pass.
And a great tackle by Western on that play, keeping it to a short gain of 5 yards. That RPO again, they like that RPO all day today. Again, right down on the ground, but right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 5.
Micaiah Lee stopping that from being a bigger play. Anderson showing pressure, but then drops back into coverage. Gerber, great time, coming out to his left. Bogardus gets it, but again, great open field tackling. That could have been big. Billy Nelson staying home, letting the receiver know that he will not be taking any further steps.
No pressure from the defensive line for Western. He gives him plenty of time. He finds Bogardus down the field again. A big play for the Buffs, 1st and 10, inside the 20-yard line.
Gerber flushed out to the right.
And I think they're just hitting that
and Tipton,
no huddle, play the same
Tipton
play
gets
again.
it. He just steps out of bounds. He had plenty of room to go, and then he shoves off the defender.
Yeah, Tipton's playing it safe on these plays so far when he's gone out of bounds, but they are moving the ball in chunks right now. 2nd and 6 for the Buffs at about the 16-yard line.
Gerber back-to-back completions will go ahead, try to go to the end zone, and was going to be a touchdown to Tipton. Micaiah Lee on the defense, but a drop pass.
Yeah, they're running the same play again, but instead of going to the flat, they decide to send him down the field. And it was a great play call, but unfortunately for the Buffs, it was a drop in the end zone, setting up a 3rd and 6 for the Buffs inside the 20-yard line. Huge play here for both teams.
Gerber, again, delayed snap. He's flushed. There's penalty flags everywhere, Mike.
I did not see what was happening down there. A traditional
Gerber
drop
just
back.
throws out of bounds, but there, I mean, the snap happened, and it was just delayed off of the ball. Everything felt wrong timing-wise on that play.
I think it was because it was just a traditional drop back instead of an RPO. We're not used to that from the Buffs today, but we'll hear what the penalty is soon. I've seen a couple of picks down the field. Let's see if it's offensive pass interference.
Have to assume right now, trailing by 4, this is not going to be the field goal unit coming out if it goes to 4th down. I just have.
So the play is the incomplete pass. Holding on the defense, number 6. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Micaiah Lee going to be assessed a holding penalty. That will be an automatic first down. It'll move the ball to the 6-yard line, I believe.
And I did not see that, unfortunately. Sorry, watchers out there, viewers out there. But somehow there was a hold as they've been running to him and throwing his way each time for the last 4 plays. They just got him to hold on to the receiver to try to slow him down. Unfortunately for Western Oregon, that's a first down inside the 10-yard line for the West Texas A&M Buffs.
Moving it to the 8-yard line. Costly penalty on the defensive backfield, who has had a much better game than previous games. Gerber now looking, giving the ball off up the middle. Curtis Anderson not letting go, I guess I could tell. Whoever was in there, 96. Marcus Lindsay, name called a couple times over the public address.
Yeah, you see Curtis Anderson rushing off the edge. He was timing it up right as the quarterback snapped the ball. He's able to get there and let the rest of the team take the running back down together. 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for West Texas A&M.
Last time the Buffs were down in this territory, big interception. Gerber tripping on his own feet, now running forward. I think he's fallen all the way into the end zone, and they're talking ball loose on Western side, or they're saying he's short, one or the other.
He's short. He's down at the 1-yard line. They were at this spot earlier this game, and they ran a quarterback sneak. We're able to get it. See if we'll get the same action. A lot of options for them right now, as they've been running this RPOs very well right now.
Timeout, Western Oregon. Second charge timeout of the half.
We'll be back for important play here after this timeout. All right, 3rd down and 1. Goal to goal for the Buffs, trailing by 4. Gerber goes underneath center, looking to sneak. There's a bad snap. Bad snap. Penalty flags down and a bad snap.
A lot of action on that one. A lot of people waiting to see where the calls are on the field right now.
Curtis Anderson, in exultation, is definitely wondering. I mean, he knows how close this was to, like, the biggest gift they've seen in a while.
See no cheering from either team right now.
Multiple in the middle and on the far side of the field.
Legal substitution, 12 men on the field, on the defense. Half distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Unfortunate mistake for Western Oregon, just as they didn't have enough people on the field on the last West Texas A&M touchdown. Miscommunication on this one and too many people on this play.
Coach Ferguson definitely. Is that ball out again? They're saying ball out. You got ball out and you got touchdown. All right, we're going to get touchdown out of it.
Wishful thinking from the Western Oregon fans there, but they were able to get the ball up and through.
Gerber pointing out to some people in the crowd, and Curtis Anderson is going to get a penalty that I think is the right call. I mean, you call me as homer as you want in this one. Gerber gets in, and then he goes right at that crowd pointing and taunting at him. So it's a touchdown. That stands. It's for Gerber. They're on top 30-28, the Buffs, awaiting the extra point. But this penalty, I think, is going against Gerber.
A lot of action on the field. We'll see here in a second.
The result of the play is a touchdown. At the end of the play, on sportsmanlike, number 66 on the offense. 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
Well, Western Oregon looks to probably get good field position after this extra point attempt, but the penalty is assessed to Patrick Gray.
Patrick Gray with a little too much celebration there. Big extra point here to get a 3-point lead with just 8:54 left in the game.
Urias perfect on the day from extra point land. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Buffs are up by another field goal, 31-28. We'll be back for more fourth quarter exciting action on KWVT, Channel 17. 6:54 remaining in regulation. 31-28, Buffs on top of the Wolves. It was a fairly easy 12-play, 67-yard drive for Texas A&M. They were able, Texas A&M West Texas. I don't think the Aggies are here, but the Buffs now leading 31-28. Gerber, second QB touchdown of the afternoon. Penalty on the unsportsmanlike conduct play for Gray moves the kickoff to the 20. Anderson and Sampson are parked on their own 20. An opportunity now for Western Oregon potentially to get good field position to try to either tie or retake the lead. And they go with the short kick, and playing center field, whoever got it, they'll give Western Oregon. It's funny, Michael, you and I we don't play anymore. We're not coaching. They must not want to kick the ball to either one of those guys.
Definitely not, and smart play by the up blocker to call for a fair catch there. Now again, Western Oregon starting with great field position with just 8:54 left in this game at the 44-yard line. Their offense has been clicking in the second half. You'd like to see if they can continue it and get another score on this. Just down by 3 points, one possession game, one scoring game. See what Western Oregon can do here, or if the West Texas A&M defense is going to step up.
Worthley will hand it off to Land. Land all day has just had almost zero fear or regard for how big a hit he's going to take.
Those offensive linemen up front have been doing a great job as they're running some options as well. They're getting up there. And again, Amari Land just seeing where the hole is and working it and making, using his strength.
Land now 18.
Make it a second and short.
Yeah, they're going 18 carries now at 89 yards. 2 touchdowns, averaging just around 5 yards a carry. Number 23. Worthley underneath. Michael, seen all the games. Haven't seen him throw to a tight end yet.
And there you go. Just as West Texas A&M hasn't either, they're not covering him, and he's able just to get in the middle there for a short game, but an important short game to move the chains.
Cade Hustler moving the chains now. Wolves in Buffs territory on the 44, and you would love to see them be as deliberate as they can here and put the points on the board, either to tie or to go ahead. Both teams already burning through 2 of their 3 timeouts. Worthley now over the middle. Justice Murphy would have loved for there to be a rule that he could have got up, but
a great job with the man-to-man on the outside, play action, and wide open, ball just a little bit behind him. A great catch by Murphy, but a first down again as the Western Oregon Wolves are driving.
Ball placed on the 29-yard line and moving quickly. Approaching 7 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, or what remains of this game. Worthley now keeping it. Very, very lucky after putting the ball down twice, and I can tell you that hit was, he got up, but he's lucky.
And as they're running that RPO, looking for Sampson in the flat as well, he decides to just turn it up the field. Positive gain of 2 yards, or a yard and a half, we'll say, but a big hit that he took there, and you don't want Worthley to take too many hits like that anymore today. 2nd and 9 for the Wolves. 6:47 left in the game.
Looks like Sampson and Ford at the bottom of your screen. Justice Murphy earning the playing time. They go out into the flat. They find Valadares. And this is a wrinkle, again, just as the season goes on, Mike, and you get personnel situations that you like. This is now multiple times Land and Valadares have been used as safety valves.
And Valadares with a great catch there as it's a little bit behind him as well. Gets a turnaround, doing another spin move to gain a few more yards, setting up a 3rd and we'll say 3 yards, 3rd and short for the Wolves, trying to see if they can get a first down here, not quite in field goal range.
Worthley knows he's got that defense on his back heels. He's looking to go to the air. He's pressured. He gets rid of it. No late hit, but it's going to bring up an interesting situation. I think the quarterback made the right call. Get this thing going. They felt the momentum. Maybe not the play call, but they are keeping out the offensive starters here right now on 3rd and 3 from the 22.
Yeah, it was great pressure from the defensive line of the Buffs and a clean hit, but he gets rid of the ball smartly, throwing it over his receiver, out of bounds, giving him a chance for a 4th down and 3 here for Western Oregon. 5:59 left in the game.
Victor Smith with the pressure on Worthley on the previous play. Just under 6 minutes, 4th and 3 on the 22. Land is open in the flat. Worthley doesn't see him. Now looking to go over the top. Goes top for Sampson. It's Sampson! Here's something so special. He has the it factor. He would not say no.
Worthley putting it perfectly on the sideline for him. Jumping up there with 2 defenders covering him. Able to take the ball and get a first down. First down on the 10-yard line for Western Oregon. 5-yard line, 1st and goal. Fantastic catch.
Finally, we see this crowd get into it. Sampson comes up with the play of the year so far for Western Oregon. Worthley now operating on the 5-yard line. He'll send Sampson in motion. Land to his right, looking left, and almost. I mean, they had it, Mike. If that ball's thrown inside, it's 6.
Very similar to the West Texas A&M interception they threw in the end zone earlier. A little bit of miscommunication there. Worthley throws it out to the outside. Almost an interception that could have been taken to the house. Dropped, fortunately for Western Oregon, setting up a 2nd and 5. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for Western Oregon.
They call them old-fashioned Texas shootouts. We're in Monmouth, Oregon, and this shootout has not come to its crescendo yet. Here we go. Land up the middle. He's going into the end zone waiting for the signal. Touchdown! His 3rd! Wolves back on top!
Great job again by the offensive line all day today, and Amari Land putting his head down for his 3rd touchdown to take the lead. With the extra point to come, we do have some flags on the field.
As it stands, 34-28, Wolves over Buffs, awaiting what the laundry says.
The offense came off the field for Western Oregon, so I think it may be a defensive penalty. Let me make guesses for no reason.
Now he's writing something on a card.
Offense. Result of the play is a touchdown. At the end of the play, unsportsmanlike. On the offense, 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the kickoff.
Well, an emotional football game that now plays like that can become very costly. Wolves now up a field goal, looking to stretch it to 4 and make the Buffs have to score touchdowns. Slow kick, and now trouble. A special teams breakdown, and now we will take a short break, and this exciting conclusion will come up on KWVT Channel 17. Western Oregon right now has got to like where they stand, but this is going to come down likely, Michael. Who has it last?
Yeah.
Who has it last?
Yeah, it's worked out this way. They're moving Western Oregon back now because of the 15-yard penalty, so it's going to set up, most likely, West Texas A&M with some good field position for what might be their last drive of the game. But we'll see here shortly how this works out, as all the kicks have been pretty short today. This is the time you need to rip one.
Gross kicks the ball pretty well here. I won't be shocked if he does go for something low and driving versus kicking it in the air. Way he's setting the ball, looking like he wants something low driving to me, Mike. There's nothing to put air underneath that. Pretty much straight up and down is the way he set the tee. And it goes with a short kick. Oh, here we go. That's a free ball, Mike.
Clip right there.
Block in the back. We're going to have no penalty call here.
Oh, wow.
This should go back even further. Or what's happening, Michael?
I see a flag now on the field, so got to wait again.
Good golly.
These refs have made themselves part of the game today for sure.
What does look like a block in the back?
That was definitely a block in the back.
I mean, I kind of just saw him throw the guy, towards the ground, and I know his back was turned to us.
Yeah, and as the action happens, as the ball goes past the receiver, the refs aren't looking in the same place as they would normally, so definitely threw off what was happening there. But now it's important to see what the penalty is and hope for no more no more unnecessary roughnesses or anything.
End of the play, personal foul.
Yeah, there you go.
Number 93 on a receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
I guess karma worked itself out on that play, but come on, D. But now Western.
J. Mark's Head is the name of the person for that infraction, and that's gotta hurt Michael, because they had to expect they'd probably be seeing this ball probably outside the 35-40 yard line.
For sure, West Texas A&M having to go a long way to be able to tie this game with a field goal at least.
14-yard line for Gurrer on this fresh set of downs, trailing by 4. He's going to pass out to the flat.
And it's scary out there for Western Oregon playing man-to-man. Receiver catches the ball, able to get it out there for at least a 9-yard gain. The chains move. That's a first down, 10-yard gain.
Clock will stop.
Again, West Texas A&M getting the ball rolling with 5 minutes left in the game.
Now rolling again. Bogardus with another reception. Favorite target for Gerber. Now looking to go over the top right off the bat. And a clean play. Lot of air underneath that ball. I think Bogardus really thinks that he should have had the ball. Maybe he took a little sod. No, there's no sod. That's artificial out there.
Yeah, plenty of time. As you see, he throws it all the way down the field as he can. There was some separation. One hand on the ball, almost able to catch it, but it goes as an incomplete pass, and 2nd and 10 for West Texas A&M.
Gerber now 15 of 27 on the day. Hands it to Mack. Mack goes straight up the middle, and I think he's gone, Mike. I don't think. Maybe they can get him. That's a touchdown, Mike. I can't say anything. That's a 75-yard. There's no penalty flags.
Just right up the middle, and there's no extra defensive backs as he gets past that second tier, and it's just a foot race at that point. Almost catching up to him, but not quite. Wow. And it's a touchdown for West Texas A&M, and as you said, the last person who has the ball may be the team that scores it and wins this game.
Unbelievable. Just bottled up, and then just like a lightning, just huge run from Harris, 75 yards, and an extremely important extra point here. Kick is up, and it is good. It's a 4-point game. Buffs up 38-34. We'll be back on KWVT, Channel 17. Possible storyline as this game continues, Michael, is that it's been heavily penalized. 19 total penalties, 11 against Western Oregon, 11 for 87 yards, 8 for 95 for the Buffs. I'll tell you, Ryan Wordley has played a great field general game today. Has to be clean. He's fumbled the ball twice, but they're going to have to be clean and have to take as much time off of this clock with 1 timeout and trailing by 4.
Trailing by 4, and you see the kick coming up.
Sampson looking to come get it. Lets it drop. Trying to get a blocker. Nobody there. Turns it up to the short side. He's got a little bit of room. Trying to get it back to the middle. And when he jumps in the air, I get squeamish, Mike, but it almost like it launched him forward a couple yards.
He's taking care of the ball on this one. It looks a little scary because he has the ball hanging out every once in a while, but he holds on to it. And just that last little push, you're right. He gets up in the air a little bit. The defender pushes him up for another 4 yards. I do see a conversation there might be coming back. But there was a helmet on the field at some point. I believe it was...
No flags, though, Mike.
There is a flag just about the 24-yard line. You can't see it from your angle because of the pole, the pole in front of us.
The pole. The dreaded pole.
But I didn't see which team. It was a white helmet, so you can make
during
your
the return, personal foul, face mask, number 80, on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
There that goes. Now the job becomes a little bit more difficult.
With 4:30, plenty of time left for Western Oregon to score. Again, it's just who's going to step up now for both teams.
London Smaller went to Westview High School. called for the penalty that will bring the Wolves to a starting field position of their own 11. Not a too uncommon place. I think this is actually their worst field position starting today. Started once in the first quarter around their 12-yard line. To Omari Land, Thomas Wright, Marquis Sampson, all on your right side. Land gets it off the left side. Not much there, and it will be a yard at best.
Yeah, no attempts at trickeration or anything. No RPO, no, just an old-fashioned handoff up the middle. The West Texas A&M defense able to get some penetration there and hold them right at the line of scrimmage. Very short gain. 2nd and 10 with just over 4 minutes left. Clock ticking down.
21-17 at the half. The good guys have put up 13 and given up 21 and trailing by 4 as Worley is going to throw on 2nd down, stepping up in the pocket. Looking, he has to run. Michael has nowhere to go. Coverage sack for the Buffs defense there. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, great job by the West Texas A&M defensive backs covering everybody they needed to cover. Worley couldn't find a receiver, decided to run it, and everybody took care of business on the defense, holding him to this no yards. 3rd and 9, and you wonder here if they don't get it, it'll be a quick punt with just 1 timeout left. They're in a tough position.
Worthley has had a monster game, over 300 yards passing. He's going to need to pick up at least 9 more to keep this drive alive. Now directing traffic, throws it to Sampson on the sideline, and they are calling for a complete pass. Michael, spot is going to be very, very important. Now they're calling incomplete or out of bounds.
We'll see on the replay
Somebody
here.
Ruling on field, incomplete pass. 4th down.
Wow. The back judge came on that. Because
and even on the replay, you can't necessarily see it. It looks like he gets his hand underneath the ball as he's coming up.
Impossible to tell from there.
It looks like he has it there, but yeah, back judge comes up and says it's an incomplete pass, setting up a 4th and 9. Basically the game if they're going for it right here.
Hickok comes into the game. 1 timeout remaining. Ball on Western Oregon's own 12-yard line. We'll need to push this to the 21-yard line or further to continue this drive. Worthley now looking, flip pass. He'll get it. Does not pass the line of scrimmage. Valadares once again. I mean, he is a secret weapon. He stays home as good as anybody and stays by him.
A nice shot by Worthley. He needed 9 yards. He had to get this pass off and give it to Valadares. You know he's faster than me, and he's able to get down the ball.
Worthley now under the middle, goes to Hickok. Hickok gets a 7-yard pickup.
7-yard pickup. Sorry, they're going no huddle right now with just 2:40 left in the game. 7-yard gain, 2nd and short with Western up at the line.
35-yard line, Michael. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Here goes Worthley again. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to have to try to pass it. Oh, boy, here we go. Ball is loose, and he got very lucky. That's the 3rd ball he's put on the ground today.
With just West Texas A&M just rushing 4 on that play. Not able to get penetration. Worthley had some time, but couldn't find an open receiver again. Gets it to the sideline, and we'll see how they call it with the ball going forward right about at the 1st down marker.
Result of the play is a 1st down. We have a forward fumble out of bounds. Coming back to the spot, still 1st down.
Yeah, so they lose about 1.5 yards where the ball went out of bounds, but the clock should roll very shortly. And it's 1st and 10 for Western Oregon at the 36-yard line.
Clock begins to roll. Both.
Remember, they need a touchdown to win the game, down by 4 points.
Still with a timeout in their back pocket. Ryan Worthley gives it to Land. Land up the middle. Land is going to get stopped real quick.
Very similar to what West Texas A&M did, trying to run up the ball. West Texas A&M was ready for it this time, holding him to just a very short gain of 2 yards.
Valadares comes back in. Obviously, the last play, Andrew Valadares had the big pickup that they had to have. Clock now rolling under 1 minute and 40 seconds. 2nd down on 8. It's a 39-yard line of Western Oregon. Out of the backfield, Valadares looking to get out of bounds, fighting for yards. Mike, he's in bounds. This clock continues to roll.
Yeah, just
player down for West Texas in the backfield.
Which is a blessing for Western Oregon because they'll use a timeout and stop the clock.
We're going to hang out here, Michael. I think it's that time of game where we get to start to have a little bit of conjecture about how you play this last minute 22. Obviously, everything in the playbook is now open for them. They have to score a touchdown. A touchdown likely wins the game. Can you still run the ball effectively here, or is most of it going to have to be passes?
I mean, at these situations where if it's inside maybe 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, maybe you decide to run the ball, but with just 1:22 left, up to the coach at that point. I'd say it's a coin flip each time, as you have Jamarcus Head, who goes injured on that play, which stops the clock.
Jamarcus Head came up with one of those plays earlier on that got his name mentioned. Hope he is fine. Training staff taking a look at him, players down, making sure that they get their proper rest. What a great game between two teams. And you're right, what a distance that West Texas A&M has to travel to come here. And it's just not common. Western Oregon, again, started those first 4 games, Mike, on the road. Great to be here, but it's got to be tough for a team like West Texas that's used to traveling within that Lone Star Conference, not very long road trips.
As Jamarcus Head gets up, getting some help to the sideline, but good that he's up. I remember a couple of years ago, one of the Texas teams were here, and somebody I heard speaking downstairs was saying how much they loved this area. It was beautiful. They were talking to somebody back home, and it's a great experience for all these guys to be able to travel. They're young men in college going to school, and they get to travel around the country to see other places. It's really neat for them. But, of course, West Texas A&M wants to come here and take a win away, but Western Oregon trying to solidify their home field right now and say, this is our field and we're going to get a score.
3rd and 5. Western Oregon on its own 42-yard line, needing to press this ball up to the 47 for first down yardage. Now under a minute and 10 seconds remaining. Wolves trailing by 4 in what's been a great football game. Worthley now looking for big chunks. Flips it underneath again. I will tell you, I don't know if it's something that they saw on tape, but it is clearly now. This is the 4th or 5th time they've been able to get it.
Yeah, going to that running back seems to be their safety valve as they keep running a lot of players downfield. They're double teaming some of the outside receivers. Uh-oh. Penalty on the field. Not sure about this one.
End of the play, delay game on the defense. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Is that something?
Game clock will start on the snap.
I believe he was laying on the player, or just holding him up from being able to get up and get to the next play. One of those iffy calls at this point in the game, but let's Western Oregon stop the clock for a moment longer and get up to the...
And they won't start the clock until snap. So it's almost like getting a bonus timeout here. Still holding one in their back pocket. Trailing by 4, 38-34, 58 seconds as Murphy is in motion, stops, looking in that direction downfield, looking for the seam route is Murphy. And Justice Murphy has just come up with an outstanding play. Absolutely one of the best catches and surpasses. Sorry, Marquise, you guys have the 2 best catches I've seen today.
Amazing throw by Worthley, triple coverage, able to get up there and catch the ball. Setting up a 1st and 10 for Western Oregon at the 11-yard line.
Valadares off the right side. He picks up a block, puts down his helmet and his pads, moves it just to the 11-yard line. Clock still ticking, under 30 seconds. Game management, that timeout are going to come out to be absolutely the difference in this football game. Worthley, Valadares, right side 10, looking for the hole. Touchdown! Wolves! They're on top! 17 seconds! No penalty flags! 40-38, extra point to come! Can you dig it?
Great job by Western Oregon, able to work their way down the field. And as they had West Texas A&M getting exhausted as they're doing this drive, handed off to Valadares again. He had the hot hand, able to make it to the outside, score the touchdown. Extra point to come to make it a 3-point lead. Field goal to tie the game after this extra point.
Extra point is good. Wolves are up 41-38. We will keep it here for the conclusion. And I was told, Michael, on the sideline, that the Wolves, if they could put up 28 at least, were going to be very competitive, if not win this game. They've surpassed that, but with 17 seconds, minus a miracle or penalty, Western Oregon, we said whoever had the ball last, but there are still 17 seconds.
17 seconds. The kicks have been short all game, so it's very important for the kick coverage to obviously go down, try to hold West Texas A&M to the limited amount of yards they can get. And on the other side, West Texas A&M saying, what kind of plays do we have here? Do we have something extra we can do? Any trick plays, anything odd to try to throw off Western Oregon's kick team to see if they can get the ball down the field as well. They have one timeout. They can run one play or two plays possibly to get down the field into field goal range. We'll see what happens here in the last 17 seconds.
One of the last players I spoke to before I came up to the booth was Justice Murphy. And he said, are you ready for a show today? Put my hand on the shoulder pads and said, go get one today. Justice Murphy with a catch that he will be remembered for a long time.
And give Ridley some props on that one too. He dropped it in exactly where he needed to get it. That was a fantastic play. Now we got to see these last 17 seconds if Western Oregon can hold off West Texas A&M.
17 seconds will feel like an eternity right now as the Wolves looking to get 2 wins in a row and one of their more exciting ones in school history. They kick it deep, Michael. Time coming off the clock. Time coming off. No tackle being made. Good field position at this point, Michael. It's going to be 9 seconds on the clock.
So you see either one or two plays here. Maybe one quick play down the middle to try to get it. They have a timeout to try to get some extra yardage. If not, it's just a couple plays at the sideline to try to get down another 10 or 15 yards, put themselves in what they believe is their field goal range.
Prevent defense, I have been told, is to prevent you from winning.
Yeah, no
what kind of defense do you play here, Michael? Just your base?
I mean, you can double team the outside.
They've got
keep the ball away from Tipton. He's the one that's making the plays today.
Lots of room, lots of sag right here. Gerber to the outside. Gerber goes one pass, taking it inside Western Oregon territory to the 45. Mike, nobody's got a 62-yard leg on this field.
Maybe not, but they also have a quarterback that can throw the ball to the end zone, so they may be coming down to a Hail Mary right now for West Texas A&M to possibly win this game.
Both timeouts going to get called here, Michael.
No, let's let him play.
I agree.
Let's let him play.
I got to tell you, I've called a lot of games. This is going to be an exciting end. Gerber needing time. Gerber steps up. Gerber has got it short of the end zone. Nobody has caught it. It comes down. Time is off the clock. Zeros. No flag. Interception, Western Oregon, and they pull out a stunning 41-38 victory. Wolves are back on the board in Monmouth.
As you see, he throws the ball up. Doesn't quite get to the end zone. The Western defensive backs are there. Interception in the game. Great job by Western Oregon today.
Western Oregon, I think, politely waving goodbye.
And thank you, West Texas A&M, for traveling up here and giving everybody a great show today.
The West Texas A&M Buffs, hold your head up high. You got into an old-fashioned shootout, and it's amazing. 41-38. We are going to step away, Ken. I need a 1-minute break. I want to come back for just a few more minutes on the stats here on KWVT, Channel 17. Well, I don't know. Caffeine's probably not the best thing for me to have in the morning, Mike, but I got to tell you, that's one of the most exciting finishes to a football game I've seen. We were just looking at these numbers. 72 total plays by Western Oregon, 71 by West Texas, and only 2 yards of total offensive difference, and it comes down to a Hail Mary, and somehow Western gets the interception.
Yeah, after West Texas A&M was able to get that 75-yard run, when nobody's expecting a run at that point, it seemed like it was still time to pass. They get down there, but Western Oregon has the heart and works their way down the field and gets a touchdown. But Valadares, Worthley, everybody, Amari Land, everybody having a great game, doing a great job. And it was a fun game since we haven't had a game here for a long time. And what more can we ask for on this?
I'm going to end it with this for you down there in the truck, guys. Jason Slowey, defensive coordinator on the defensive staff, said, if Western Oregon can score 28 points today, got a good feeling. Jason, great call. For Mike Brown, for Kinley Tech, for everybody here at KWVT.
Go Crew.
Go Crew. We're going to be back here, 1:05 p.m. kickoff, KWVT, Channel 17, October 9th, the Central Washington rivalry game, 1:05 next Saturday. For everybody, wherever you may be, football fans, have a great day and be safe, everybody.